Put your whole heart into it.
Okay, welcome back. We should be all set. Yes, okay. Woo! That was weird. Okay, we are all set to... Okay, we're back. That was weird. That was concerning. Yeah, I just ran a configuration thingy. Like, okay, just set me up for YouTube again, please. You know what? I did try to do like a trial for Twitch to see if we could run like the Pearadise over on Twitch, watch it there, talk about it here. I forgot I had run that over there and I switched it back, but I guess I didn't have like OBS say, yeah, we're back to YouTube. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. So, okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me in the nest tonight. So we did gift the additional 5 remaining memberships for the month. So we have Joyful Essie, Mish Monster, Surrounded by Asses, 4113, Michelle Nobels, Catalicious. You have received a free 30-day membership to the Nest. Welcome. Officially welcome. Welcome. If you're brand new, please be sure to check out your welcome video. Oh, yeah. We are back. Yes. Okay. So we got a weird one tonight. Yes, we do. We're not going to be talking about boils. We're not going to be talking about weird lab incidents with people swearing on the phone and appointments, non-appointments, Eastside Mario's, lasagna, Old Navy. No. Bunch of weirdos. Captain Quint, it's your birthday. Oh, my goodness. It's Maddie Duh. Thank you for the clapping seal. Captain Quint, happy birthday. Oh my gosh, thanks for letting us know. Happy birthday, Captain Quint.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Captain Quint. Happy birthday. I hope it's a wonderful one this year. Happy birthday. Yeah. And Flo, thank you for being an Owlette for 21 months. Flo says, let's do this. You got it, ma'am. We are gonna do it. Yes, we are. And I know you all have been waiting for some time for us to do this, and I'm going to tell you why, okay? So I've watched all 3 episodes. Let's run a little bit of a poll. I'd like to see how many people have watched Big Girls Wanted Escape from Paradise, okay? All right. Have you watched it? Have you watched Escape from Paradise? Okay. All 3 episodes. Some or none. Okay. This is going to be helpful to know as we go into this evening. You kind of fell asleep a little in episode 3. Okay. You've been saving it for the nest. Okay. But you know Buddy's a creep. Yeah. You didn't watch it directly. You fell down a rabbit hole of the bunny ranch. Okay. Hey, Ashley, how's it going? Okay. So you watched Sam at Every Size episode 1 and 2 recap. Okay. You haven't watched it yet. Okay. So I did have a ton of challenges with copyright, a ton. And you watched all of it twice? Okay. You watched all 3? Okay. I got pretty discouraged because I really wanted to tackle it right away. Like Wednesday night, I got the 3-day pass from Sling. Skoll and I sat in our individual homes watching it and chatting as we were watching it, like, oh my God. And it really, like, at first it was like, tee, and then we were like, oh shit, like people are dying here. And this guy's awful. So it was bad. It was hard to watch. I was like, okay, well, how am I going to approach this? Because it's such heavy material, no pun intended. It's such heavy material. People kind of divided it up into 3 different episodes. That was one way to do it. And I said, okay, but I don't want to paraphrase what any of these ladies said. And I said, well, can I take their voices? Okay. I'm telling you, I tried everything I could think of to try to show clips, to try to just take audio. Every time I attempted anything, I immediately got hit with a copyright claim. I thought of even just taking a channel that I have out there, uploading some clips, and just sending you to that channel, letting that channel take the hits, and just having you watch it there. But I even got a notification on that channel that it was being blocked from being viewed. So not only did it get claimed and all that, like you can't even watch anything on there. So like there was no way to do it. When I tell you I tried everything, I really mean it. I have no idea. So they really went all out in protecting this content. So what I did, I watched Chikara Transformations, and she did what I had been thinking of doing, and she did a great job of it. She said, because I'm like, I'm just going to have to watch it again because I screen recorded it. I'm going to have to watch it again and take notes and give my thoughts. And she thought the same thing, that she was going to have to try the same thing. Not even other accounts could access for you? What do you mean by that? Did I try turning it off and turning it on again? Hey, Falafel Reacts. Okay, so I really, really tried. I really, really tried because I wanted to show you something, okay? So what Chikara ended up doing is she started to take notes, and then she was like, well, wait a minute, why am I taking down notes that I'm going to end up reading to you as I'm recording? So why don't I just watch it and speak my thoughts as I'm watching it? And I thought, yeah, that's pretty much what I ended up doing. So I got through the whole first episode. It took me 2 full days. So a lot of people avoided this content because of the topic, okay? This is not lighthearted content. This isn't, now we're dealing with, okay, we are in Gore World. We are dealing with, whether these are girls or not, I don't know, okay? I don't know. They're all so different. There's so many girls involved in this because this Pearadise mansion has been around since like 2020. So we have 6 years of people coming and going, all different types of people doing all different types of things. It is very dark. It's very dark. And the whole thing, I mean, I do have recording that I'm going to play, okay? I'm not telling you that I didn't do it. I did it, okay? I did it. I do have recorded content. Yeah. Yeah, let me say also right out of the gate, if you're not in a space to watch it, I would leave now. Honestly, I would leave now. This isn't jokey time. This isn't like I wish I could bring like a light humor to this. It's just not. It's just not. I really had a hard time getting through this. I really just wanted to scrap the entire thing. I know that it's important for us to talk about. I know a lot of you wanted to talk about it in here. I felt like I had watched it so many times and talked about it with so many people, and I knew like let's just have the conversation. Let's start the conversation. Let's say what we want to say with each other here. But I can't pretend like we're just dealing with some tech geek who likes fat chicks. That's not what this is at all. It's just not. So when I'm watching, and like my past couple of days watching this have been dark, I wasn't productive. Like, each of us has like our own history with things, including myself. No, I didn't live with a Stefan who was trying to like smother me with food and like, but like, it just, ugh, okay. So, just like a couple of ground rules. If you're not up for it, please leave now. And I mean that with like the utmost love. If you're not okay listening to this kind of thing, you should leave. I'm being very serious. I had to cut myself off and say, I can't keep putting myself through this just to produce content for the channel. I've got to cut it off at some point. Like, let's talk about what I have done, and maybe we'll just kind of take it from there. Okay. And see, like, I'm sure the ball will get rolling. It always does in the nest, and like, maybe I don't have to continue on with the other. I've already watched the other 2 episodes like 2 or 3 times each. I just haven't recorded my thoughts on it. I've had my thoughts, of course. And just, it makes it so, the copyright issue makes it so rough not being able to just talk about it in real time, watch a clip, pause, and talk about it. Like, it makes it impossible for us to do that. So that's the first thing. If you're not up for it, please leave. Number 2, no victim blaming. I don't care. And I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I do, because we've got, like, hey, look at Chantal. Like, if no one forced you to stay there. And, of course, we don't have Chantals here, but there will be people who would still have that type of mentality. Okay? So, yeah. And if someone feels that something was done against their will, we have to respect that. And there are kooky people like Piggy Stardust, who comes out of nowhere with her own set of issues. Okay. Now, when things start to get a little too icky, we do have a break that we can take, and we're going to Instagram, where we're going to listen to a girl talk about her experience in the mansion that is like totally unrelated. She wasn't there for Stefan. Her boyfriend was kind of in and out there, and her problem was with the girls. So everyone kind of had a different experience at Pearadise. Kind of interesting. So yes. And please, I don't need the I love you, AYS, but I can't. I can't with that, okay? You don't have to explain yourself. Please just leave quietly, okay? No need to make a scene. Please, okay? Okay. It's okay. Just step out. It's okay. All right. So I have 2 separate recorded videos that I did over the course of 2 days. And it might be a little bit awkward because I'm listening and then pausing to record. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, so we do start off with a content warning from the network saying material may be disturbing to some viewers. I can agree with that. Viewer discretion is advised, of course. And I'm going to be putting up, I did take a bunch of screenshots, not only from the content, but from other places, so I can provide some visual context as to what they're talking about. And this series examines allegations of actual SA and coercive control. It includes depictions of mental health issues, disordered eating, and explicit content. Okay, yes. And there is this photo. It opens with this photojournalist named her name's Emily something. I'll find it eventually. That I'm like, oh yeah, I can pause while I'm recording. Emily Kask. So she works for different news agencies like the New York Times, and photojournalists go around and they're photographers, and they basically will tell a story in their photos. So news stories. So she was scrolling TikTok through the pandemic and found Pearadise. So she had been, as many young ladies all over the world, as children, were taught to be ashamed of their bodies if, and as a child even, if it doesn't meet some sort of physical standard. So she saw, Pearadise and these, larger women who were being celebrated, basically. And of course, Stefan saying, like, if you can fit in these larger bikini bottoms, I want you in my pool. So she's like, oh my gosh. So she says, yeah, so I wanted to go there. I wanted to document it, potentially for a story. But she said she also wanted to experience it for herself. And Stefan has this like TikTok that he says, if you're a big girl, confident, cute, single, let's be friends. It all sounds very innocent, does it? Like, let's be friends. Why don't you come over and hang out? Right. So Emily Kask, the photojournalist, is talking about the body positive influencer, era came about when she started feeling a little bit better about the body she was in. And, of course, social media. Women showing swimsuits, of all different sizes. And then we've got Tess Holliday speaking. And she's saying there were millions of people who were affected by the body positive movement, millions of people on the internet sharing their experiences. And it It changed many people's lives, including herself. Tess Holliday is a model, author, and advocate, is how she's listed by the network. And discrimination that plus-size people face. So they have a sex therapist on who says that what really draws people in, that they're these women who have been told their whole lives that their bodies aren't desirable. And finding a space of community is really self-esteem building. So this is, I believe, in my opinion, is one of the points that Stefan can see as a point of vulnerability. That this is one of the only places in the world where you may be finding acceptance at every turn. So Emily Kask, the photojournalist, she messaged Stefan and told him a little bit about herself. And she said he responded immediately. And she says by the end of the week, she was on a plane to Vegas to go to Pearadise. So she says she went to the house and walked in and the girls looked like her. And she said that she just felt like everyone accepted her. And one of the girls that really stood out to her the most was Cass. And Cass and Stefan were in a relationship. However, as you may know, Stefan is, I'm not sure of the exact term, maybe polyamorous. So, he's sleeping with everybody. But Cass was doing some online work on the side also. And I think she was having some of her clients come in. So I don't think it was 100%, but that's work for her. And I think for Stefan, it wasn't work. So whatever that means to both of them. So Emily Kask says Cass really loved Stefan. And they got along really well. And she helped to build the following of Pearadise on social media. Now, Cass, as you may know, has passed away. She was 29 years old. She was absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so there's a person at the docuseries is really set up. It's very jumping all over the place. And I had felt, learning about Pearadise up until the docuseries, it had felt very much like that the whole way up to it, that it was kind of just all over the place. There were so many people involved, so many things being said. It was really hard to keep track of everything. And it wasn't until I watched Sam at Every Size, she was saying the docuseries is the same way. It's it's all over the place. There's bits and pieces here and there. It's scattered throughout. That's what I was like, she's right. She's right. This is still not. And I can see it for an HBO, a TV series. Okay, you got to keep it engaging. People's attention spans are very short nowadays. You got to keep it constantly moving to keep people's attention. But yeah, it does keep it. It is harder to really figure out what's going on. So someone now comes on the screen and their name is Esme Meza. And I don't recall seeing her name before. And it says member of Pearadise. And she's doing her makeup. She says, you don't have to hide who you are. And then just next up is Krisha Stroop. Now, we've definitely seen her before. She is still at the house. She's in her early 20s. So Krisha says, Stefan, that man is everything. He gave me a place to call home. Okay, so as of this point, she's a supporter of Stefan. This is Krisha. I'm never leaving. He can't get rid of me. Now we have Shay Vitale, who very recently, a month ago, passed away. Okay. And she says, he genuinely loves women. This is what Shay says. Our bodies are celebrated in a way that many don't understand. Okay, then there's Audrey. So, it's just all over the place. Then we got Audrey, who says, oh my God. Here I was thinking, right? Here I was thinking that I was talking so slow, I can't even keep up with myself. They were like, because the women were just like, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so Shay's on the screen. Audrey, you might remember from Lol Cow Bus. She's like the real defender of Stefan, and she talks a million miles an hour. You remember Audrey, this one? She's like, that's Audrey. She's a huge defender of Stefan. That's Audrey. Okay. Stefan is yeah, the red dress is Shay. Yeah, he doesn't pay for their flights or anything. It's kind of like, and they have to buy their own food. They have to cook and they have to clean. So it's not like they're going out there to be goddesses. Like, like it's very strange. Not that it adds to the story, but do we know the cause of the death of the two women? Yes. For Cass, she had, I'm going to get them mixed up. One had complications of influenza B and one had complications of pneumonia. And I think pneumonia was Cass. And Xiomara, who thankfully is alive, she's in a rehab facility, like a nursing home type of place. And her O2 sats were like in the 70s, I guess. And she had to be intubated. She was in her room at Pearadise. And she was like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. And they had to call 911. Yeah. Oh, are you okay? Oh my gosh. My dog just jolted. Okay. Pearadise. There's a reason we're here. We'll all have it. Okay. Okay. So now Emily Kask, the photojournalist, is saying that as she was there, she said she planned to stay about a month there, that as her time went on, basically the dynamics of the house started to become clear to her, and that Stefan did refer to certain people as the inner circle of the house. The inner circle. There were certain rules that people took on. And there's one woman who they considered to be the Kris Jenner of the house. The Kris Jenner. Let me show you her. And that is Heather Edmonds. Oof. Okay. Heather Edmonds does become important later on in the series. Yes, she does. Heather Edmonds. I'm going to have to take a screenshot of her because you will need to keep track of who she is. She has, just so I can kind of keep track for myself while I'm listening back, she has black glasses, black rimmed glasses. She has a nose ring. She has gray hair. And, I guess at the time she looked totally different. She had brunette hair. But now she has light gray hair. Heather Edmonds, former member of Pearadise from 2020 to 2022. And she's wearing a black cardigan and like a tube top with some flowers on it. This is Kris Jenner. She says she was part of the inner circle. Now, she says when you're in the house, you are expected to take on responsibilities. Yeah, like cooking and cleaning. Okay. And this I haven't gotten to yet in the episode. One of my dogs needs to go out. So let me get him quickly. Dumpster Snacks, thank you for the super sticker. Just Jamie says, Stefan treats all of these women like objects. He has no compassion for them, especially once they become ill or too old. Yes, he likes tall, very large, over 500, and they have to be active as well. Like this is not natural for a human being. It's just not even natural. Yeah, thank you, Just Jamie. Yep. Stefan says, I haven't eaten properly in days. So he does expect them to cook and clean. Imagine. He expects you to order groceries. He expects you to fold boxes for his business. There was a herd mentality that they all had, she said. You do your part, you do what's needed as a collective. And what do they get out of it? A room? A bed? Like, what do they... This guy is supposedly a multimillionaire and he can't even feed these girls? And he just has, like, the luxury of having them come around and just live with him, but they have to cook and clean and service him when he desires at any time. What do they get out of this? I mean, I guess if they were homeless, yeah, they get a room. But I mean, what if they're not? What do they get out of it? And some of them have said that it's really like the sisterhood amongst the other women. So he's not even really the main draw to Pearadise, it would seem. So she says that he would make TikToks of the ladies and that the TikTok exploded and it really drew people in. Okay, so now he starts receiving some criticism. Like, okay, what is he doing, you know? So people do start criticizing he's good at his grooming skills. You know, it's kind of weird. Nothing says safe and welcoming like a fetish-fueled cult. Fetish is not the same as body positivity. They're trying to recruit us. Someone's brainwashed. That house is a trap. And that people were constantly describing it as a cult. Well, that's creepy. Stefan says they're starting to interview him. He's sitting down and he says, we call it the Pearadise effect when people don't want to leave. That sounds culty. That does. So he says his mission of Pearadise has always been to teach people that having an attraction to very big people is normal, it's natural, and that his ideal type would be very tall and very big. And Stefan says Pearadise is a place of love, of acceptance and love for plus size people to come and visit. Well, where are the men? Where are the big and tall men, Stefan? All I see is women. So he says he has 6 bedrooms and that there's an open invite. Just send me a DM and tell me about yourself. So he's got this indoor pool and he says plus size people can come and wear a swimsuit and not be judged, and you can't do that at a public beach. He says he doesn't want to be compared to the Hugh Hefner of plus size women, that he is unique. He says, this is Stefan, this is Pearadise. So he says he grew up in Berlin. His mother was a home ec teacher and that his parents were health nuts. And when he brought home a plus-sized woman, when he was a teenager, like as a girlfriend, he was judged. And that's one of the reasons he moved out when he did. And he said he moved to America, which is the land of the free. And there's big, beautiful women everywhere. So he talks about how he made his money. We've watched that before. At this point, I might pause and show you some of those videos if you want to see them again, if you didn't see them the first time. Yeah, so he made his millions. His mother couldn't afford to be a hoe. Yeah, he made his millions making these remote, like car convertible things. It's a remote thing for different makes and models of luxury cars. So we looked at a couple of those. And they're pretty custom, and you can put up or down like a soft cover, even I think for a hard cover while you're moving. Retractable car roofs, yes. And that's how he made his millions, I guess. So yeah, pretty niche, I guess. So this is from courtesy of his home cameras. And you can see he's got cameras everywhere, okay? And here he is. This is kind of like the layout of the house if you haven't seen it yet. And the cameras are absolutely everywhere. And on Lolcow Bus, this is what he liked to pull out for proof. This is his proof that nothing happened in the house. So, but in this particular screen grab, he is touching a woman who's laying on the sofa, just all over her. So that woman's face is blurred out, and you can see there are just like women, like in the kitchen, and just, there are people all over the place. So this is kind of just like what's expected, that if you're going to stay there, it's like you have to expect that Stefan is going to put his hands on you. Yeah. But just like he made this thing to for different makes and models of luxury vehicles for the convertible to put it up and down. So he says during COVID, he was all by himself in this big house in Las Vegas, and he decided to put himself out there, and he started a TikTok. And he said within a month or so, he started inviting women over because he said, I like plus-sized women, and he got a bunch of followers. He says that he's never had a financial interest in it, that he doesn't benefit from it financially, that he just likes to make people happy. I'm calling BS on that. So Emily Kask is saying how all of the furniture is like fortified for plus-sized bodies, for like we know that Chantal has broken several chairs and sofas in her time, and that everything is like very, very sturdy. So no one coming to Pearadise has to worry about breaking a chair, because like these women are a lot larger than Chantal. So they're saying that like some people would come and stay for a while. Some people would like be kind of transient, like stay a night or whatever if they were in town. And now they're introducing a lady named Ivy. She said she was basically there every day in 2021 for several months. She said it was pretty obvious that Stefan was interested in her, and she was fine with that because she likes attention. She says she wants to feel loved, she wants to feel desired, and she says that's not something that happens very often to someone of her size. And Dr. Chris Donahue, the sex therapist, says you might be led to believe that this is your only chance. And if you don't believe you deserve better, you're going to settle for less. So Heather Edmonds, a.k.a. the Kris Jenner of the group, says that the very first night she was at Pearadise, he asked her to weigh in, step on a scale. And Stefan is like, yeah, like it's a very normal thing here. And the people decide themselves how they feel about the number on the scale. But like the look on his face when he says that is like kind of it looks very defensive. And he said, and Heather Edmonds says, and normally, Stefan says, normally I can pinpoint if within 5 to 10 pounds how much somebody weighs. Now the scale is the XL-700 for those of you scale nuts out there. It's the My Way, WEIGH. Capacity is 700 pounds. Okay, and the readout, the screen is cracked. It is cracked. So Heather says that she felt very comfortable getting on the scale in front of Stefan, even though she would not have felt comfortable getting on a scale in front of her boyfriend of 10 years. And that, and so then Emily Kask says, if you weighed in and you had gained 5 pounds, there was like a little bit of joy, a little bit of a celebration. And Cass weighs, they show her on the scale, 489 pounds. And you can hear Stefan in the background. He's like, woo, woo, all excited. Like he probably has a goal weight for her of like 500. And Ivy is like, it comes across as like totally innocent, and it's totally not. Oh, okay. That's the end of that one. Okay, that's the end of that recording. Okay, so I want to show you the Instagram. I had taken a bunch of screenshots for what I just played for you, and I'm unable to locate them. All right. That happens sometimes. I'm usually a little more organized. Okay, so let me show you. Just to lighten it up a little bit, because, okay. This person, what's her name? This person is K-Bear Cutie BBW Official, okay? And she's telling her story. It's in like 9 or 15 parts or something. Not 9 parts, okay? 9 parts. Let's look at the poll so far. Okay, so we have 191 votes. Thank you, everyone, for voting. The question was, have you watched Escape from Paradise? Oh, I said Escape for Paradise. 61% said none. Okay. All 3 episodes, 30%, some 9%. Thank you very much. That gives me a good idea. Okay. Yeah. If you do have a chance and you are interested, I would recommend it. If you are interested, it is it's I've said, people who've watched 1 episode, sometimes came in like guns blazing, have an opinion, opinions on, what they want to say about it. And, I could have too after 1 episode, but I would recommend watching episodes 2 and 3, and you might have a different outlook on things after you see those. So there's definitely a lot of manipulation going on here. And I do think that Stefan recognizes the power differential for sure. I definitely think he knows exactly what he's doing. And I think he's a sick fuck. I really do. And when people start dying in your home, maybe something to consider, or consult an attorney before you start getting charges. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's why they have to buy their own food, though. Just my thoughts on that. Okay, so here she is, lovely lady. Okay, let me take down. I'll at least let me make my owl a little bit translucent. Okay, all right. It's probably the only time he feels powerful. Probably. Yeah, it gets real skeevy when we start getting to what's her name? I can't remember. But it was like she was 19 years old, and she arrives to the house thinking it's all body positivity, and it's like it's her first night, and she gets in the pool, and everyone's taking their bathing suits off, and she's like, oh, okay, but then it's like, oh, she didn't know. Oh, okay. So, all right, here we go.
Hello guys, my name is Kayla, and I am a victim at Stefan's Pearadise. If you're seeing an ID channel documentary named Escaping Paradise, you should definitely watch it. I've heard about all of those women before I even met them through Stefan, and I would definitely say this is my story and my experience, and mine is going to be a little bit different. I think we could all say that the ending is pretty much the same, but the way it goes down is a little bit different. I had a very traumatic experience in only 4 months' time being at Stefan's, and I'm just going to break it down. I first met Stefan back, like 5 years ago through TikTok. I was seeing him, and in my mentality, it's a little bit different, okay? It's not going to be the same story as everybody else's. I didn't necessarily choose to reach out to Stefan because it felt like an inviting place to be. I'm not saying that those girls are dumb or anything. I want to clarify that they're not dumb. He is very smart and really good at manipulating who he is to make that place feel safe. But for me, I kind of saw through that. And so my intentions when I reached out to him was not that. What I saw was, I'm a content creator. I do, that kind of content. Okay?
We know.
And
We
he
know,
is
girl.
a rich man. Well, this is what I thought. A rich man living in a mansion and has a lot of plus size girls there who are also models and content creators. And this is going to be a place for me to make money and maybe make money from him.
I don't know
skinny.
how old she is. I don't know.
Believe it or not, guys, I'm too skinny for Stefan.
Too skinny.
Sort of. I mean, he'll still, but I'm not necessarily his preference, okay? So back to what I was saying. So I see his thing, I'm like, oh, this guy's got money or whatever. I'm going to reach out. Maybe this is going to be part of my career here.
No, this is not the girl that I mentioned earlier.
Here's,
This girl is, the girl I mentioned earlier was Savvy. And if you watch the Pearadise stuff that we did before, we talked about Savvy. Savvy was like in the text messages and all that, and she was flirting with Stefan in the text messages and stuff. No, this girl is K-Bear Cutie BBW official. And I have never seen her before. And the first time I've seen her is on Instagram. So ever since, because I've been on Instagram following all of these Pearadise ladies, and remember, the house has been in operation. I know, there's so many of them. There's so many of them, and they all have their own individual stories. And like so K-Bear had a boyfriend at the time who was like in and out of the house. And so she wasn't involved with Stefan at all because Stefan knew that she had a boyfriend. So like she had nothing going on at all. And she was doing her content. Like she was renting a room from Stefan, and other girls were renting. You're going to hear her talk about that. So this girl, like, remember we kind of did like, oh, Cece is the mother. And we read all of her crazy text messages, and we learned about Porky. Remember, Porky was all hungover and she said, you can't take the chop down. Remember, like we learned about those girls. Like, but K-Bear, brand new person that we have no history on at all. But she was like, oh, this documentary is about to come out. Let me tell you. Okay, this is my experience at Pearadise, because some of the women come in and they'll spend a couple months, some like a week, and they come and go and come and go. So yeah.
And while talking about it, I was like, oh, he's kind of a funny guy. He's kind of fun. This house could be great for content creation, this and that. I'm gonna get to know him more. Well, then, I met other people there at the mansion. There was Angel, his ex, and his other ex, Cass, and some other people, and I was making connections, and I thought, business-wise, this is great. That's what I thought. And it's all my field because I'm a plus-size woman. And so what I mean by it's a little bit different than others is because they went in with the intent of a family, fan, and bonding, and I went in for money. But let me just break it up for you. That mansion ain't his, buddy. Hello, guys.
Okay, so she's like, I went there for money. Okay, and she's like, that mansion ain't his. Now, even K-Bear gets confused with some of the girls. She gets confused because there were so many. So she said one of the girlfriends, I even forget the name she just said, not Cass, is another one. But she got the age of that person wrong. And because the other woman is in the comments saying, no, I wasn't that age when you met me. K-Bear's 31. Okay.
All right, so the mansion is not technically his, okay, guys? It's
Listen
not.
to this.
His dad and mom bought it for him, and
His parents bought him the house. His parents in Germany. It's not his house. I know. See, it's a good break to take with K-Bear. It's like dropping some receipts that I can appreciate. Yeah. So he tries to act like he's like, like he's got this thick wallet, just like, like he's making it rain every night on these girls. And like, oh, all you got to do is let me grab your belly. Like, no, he doesn't even own the house. Ugh.
We're constantly helping him out of these rents. But I mean, the house might be under his name, and HOA has been trying to take him out. I remember when we went into this, I actually contacted his HOA because he had an illegal tattooing business in there, and then everybody.
The HOA is trying to get him kicked out because he has an illegal tattooing business happening in his house. One of the girls was learning how to tattoo, and she was tattooing people in his house without a license.
They told me that I was hurting it. We'll get into that. That's later to come. That's later to come. Anyways, so right now, so he doesn't have money. All right, so if he's feeding these girls, you know what he suggests to take these girls out to go do? He says, hey, girls, let's go to Heart Attack Grill, which thank God that place is closed down. So I don't know where he's going to get free meals now for all his women. But he takes them there so he doesn't have to pay. And when there's food at the place, he has everybody else Uber eating it there or cooking for him like he's a special type of guy. And he manipulates these young women. Every single woman, 9 times out of 10, is under the age of 25.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that older women don't go there, because they do. But his preference is really young women. Mm-hmm. When I met Angel, which is his last ex that I'm aware of, she was 19.
Okay, now Angel is in her comments saying I wasn't 19. So even K-Bear Cutie is confused. I wasn't 19. I was 22, turning 23 at the end of the month. We met July 4th, 2021. My birthday is July 29th, 1998. Just clearing that aspect of it up.
He's in his 50s.
Yep, he's 53.
I'm sorry. To me, it's a little creepy.
I'm
not saying it's illegal.
It's not illegal.
It's just odd.
Yeah.
But why does he do this?
There's a reason.
Now, I believe that there's couples out there with older guys and younger women where it's not this type of dynamic. But with his dynamic, it is about manipulation. Mm-hmm. You could not manipulate a 30-plus-year-old woman as easily as you can a teenager and somebody in their early 20s.
That's right.
They're just experiencing life outside of their house with their parents. This is an easy form to do. So I was seeing a lot of that in the house right away. And I kind of knew, but again, when it didn't necessarily involve me and it didn't seem that major in the beginning, I didn't really feel like it was my place to say anything. But while living there, you learn things as they come. People saying in the comments that, you should know in one day. You don't. Sure, I knew he was like a predator type guy. I knew that he was touchy-feely. To some people, and I 100% believe this, if you are not comfortable with that, that is, wrong. I don't want to use certain terms. I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible in the best way I can. But that is wrong. For me, I didn't care so much about that stuff. It didn't bother me. So that's why I say my situation is a little bit different than theirs. So my issues with Stefan are different. But theirs are still valid and 100%. And he does do those things. But my situation is different. You're probably wondering, what's your situation? Get to the... All right, so the mansion is not...
What's your situation? Get to the point. There's 9 parts. How does it keep getting worse? I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like every time I'm like, you know what? This whole thing is like, it's run its course. It's over. No, every time I log into a different platform, there's an update. So no, it's like it continues to evolve. Because people are kind of like, okay, the docuseries has been out for a while now. I mean, it's been out for 8 days. 8 days. Doesn't it feel like it's been out for a month? It came out June 10th. Today's the 18th. Isn't that insane? It feels like it's been out for a month. It feels like that to me. Because every day that passes, I'm like, oh my God, I still got to work on that. But yeah, so I think as time passes, people are like these women who have stayed there are feeling more and more comfortable about coming out with their stories. They're like, oh, K-Bear Cutie came out and talked about her situation. Maybe it's time for me to start talking. Okay, so part 3.
just going to speed it up to what's the juicy, what's the important bits. During my time of knowing him, I did meet Angel Marie. That's how me and her had ended up becoming friends. And then slowly, surely, we made content, created content with one another. I even visited her out where she lives, and vice versa. This before she even dated Stefan. And then a year later, when she was moving out of Stefan's, I came to visit. And that's kind of where this all story began. When Angel was leaving Stefan's, I came to visit her, not necessarily Stefan. But at the time, I was living out of a van, a small one. And I kind of, figured, well, she's moving out and there's going to be space. And Stefan was stating his case that kind of like she was the enemy. Although there were some things I was kind of seeing and I understood why she wanted to leave. And I shortly found that out. So when I first moved in, the first couple of weeks, besides the fact that we already know that he's a predator, those things, they didn't really affect me, right? So we're not going to really get into that necessarily with me. But I moved my stuff in, and I guess I didn't know how extreme it was and all the drama. And he had other roommates. There was Sam, who did tattooing at the mansion. She didn't have a shop. She wasn't really certified. So she was making her rent money through doing that at the mansion. Another thing was Alana. Oh boy. And that's kind of where this all started. I'm not going to lie. I know it's not really him necessarily, but it becomes him. So we need to pay attention. So when I first moved in, there was this woman, Alana. She was renting there. She had one of the biggest rooms that she was paying less than all of us. I guess.
Alana is a problem. Jeff, thank you for being an Owlette for 5 months. Thanks for covering this. It's absolutely insane. Hey, my pleasure. I prefer to cover all this stuff around it, but it's we do have to talk about the other stuff too, to have the full perspective of what's going on there, So yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so Alana, so Kate, I'm going to get you her full link, of course, because I'm following all these ladies. And let me tell you, I log in, I open my, I log in like I'm 70. Well, it's okay to be 70, certainly. But, I log into my Instagram page every morning. And you know what I'm greeted with? In the mornings, I'm greeted with 500-pound twerking women, half naked, most mornings. Yes, I am. And you know what I do with those? I send them to school. Good morning. So this is K-Bear. This is K-Bear Cutie. So yeah, if you want to give her a follow, keep up with her her story. I'd log into my internet and double click my desktop icon. Okay. All right. Let's continue.
I guess that's because they had their friendship or whatever. And she did not like me from day one. And that's the confidence issues. Now, I'm not saying all of the fat girls that go to Stefan's house have insecurities, but I will say most of them do.
Yeah, they have insecurities, of course. And how come you're not, hey, follow me on Instagram. I'll put you in. Yeah, I don't really advertise my Instagram because I'm not really doing anything over there. Yeah. But yeah, so I started following all the girls from Pearadise on Instagram because Zio the Dreamer is on there. And they were all commenting on Investigation Discovery on their page when they were posting the trailers. So I was like, oh, so I just started following the girls. So I'm being suggested all the girls. And I'm being suggested girls that I don't even think are really involved, but are good-sized girls. You know what I mean? She won't admit it, but her previous phone alert before Shani was, you've got mail. You've got mail. Yeah. And, the young girl, okay, the one that's, what's her name? Oh my God. The youngest one that's at Stefan's house right now, she's 23. She's still there. Her name on Instagram is SSBBW Thighzilla. Her videos are a little too much. They're a little too much. I can deal with a good, hit the floor, bounce it around, pick it up. Like, wow, you're flexible. You're way flexible. You're way more flexible than I ever would have thought. And like, well, that's impressive. Those are the ones I send to school. Like, you are really flexible. That is impressive. And she's on the beat and everything. Like, damn. But like, the Thizilla chick. Yeah, it's just kind of wow. Like, wow, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Yeah, okay.
Okay? And everyone has insecurities. Skinny, not skinny. We all have insecurities. But when you pile in a bunch of women competing, and then you also have a lot of people who are insecure about themselves all within one box, it's gonna get toasty. Okay? And it surely got toasty. Now, Lana was somebody who I understand where the hatred began. It came from me not having to work a 9 to 5 and being at the mansion and being able to pay double what she pays and affording things and affording a bunch of food and getting to go out and do these things. And my work is I get online, I show myself eating my dinner, and I get off, and then I call it a night. Okay? So I understand where it's... So I'm just going to... All right, so let's get into Alana. So I understand where the stems of jealousy came from, but it created a lot of problems within the house. She was very best friends with Sam, which was the other roommate that we had there, that was originally Angel's friend. And dude, she was such a backstabber. The day Angel left, she was mad talking about her and defending Stefan. And I think she maybe did that to also stay there, but then she was just saying horror stories and then pretending to be Angel's friend over the phone when Angel moved out in long term. And that's what these girls do, okay? And like I said, many of my friends used to call this Heifer Ranch. And like we call him Hugh Heifer instead of Hugh Hefner. Anyways, continuing on. All right.
Hugh Heifer. I love it. Hugh Heifer.
You've got mail.
Hugh Heifer.
So all this drama was going on, and Sam and Alana were besties, and they're my other roommates. So when there's problems, I would go to our landlord, Stefan, and he would do absolutely nothing. And I was like saying, oh no, you're wrong, KB, you're wrong. It's not like that. And he'd bring up all this crap. So eventually I was like, I have to handle these situations myself. So I figure he's got a camera in all his rooms. I'm gonna get a camera for mine. And I put a ring light in there, and I told nobody. And I was figuring to catch her on camera, which I did. And I'll show that. Just wait. I swear, there's going to be good, juicy things to see if you just hold on. I know I'm talking a lot, but this is so much information in a short period of time. So anyways, Alana's causing all these problems with parking, getting me to be enemies. This girl, Audrey, comes. Audrey is a homewrecker. Don't bring your man anywhere near her. Now, my man never...
Now, we know Audrey, right? We know Audrey. Audrey's the one that capes for Stefan. She's like, she talks nonstop.
Never did anything with her. But she would try even in front of my face to get with him. She also moved into the mansion. This is another beast I have to talk about. She moved into that mansion, or kind of not really moved in, but she's there a lot. I say moved in, but she still kind of lives in California. She went there with a boyfriend, a monogamous relationship. The boyfriend was a semi-truck driver, so he was never around. And he had inkling that she was cheating on him and going his places. And she was doing just that. First day she came back, I'm not at Stefan's, I would never go there, while we're in Stefan's kitchen. And doing whatever with guys in the pool and whatnot. Now she's an escort. I don't know if that boyfriend's around anymore. I think he ran for the hills. But it's one of those kind of people. So what she would do, because she had an issue with me, and she thought that my boyfriend was hot, she would flirt with him. She would try to get him to do things for her, constantly call for him, flirt, and do all these things. So I was like, okay, you're not a girl's girl. I'm not even going to bother being friends with you. But that's what made Audrey and Alana get so along, because All right, so let's get into Alana. All right, so Alana, Audrey become besties. You know how that goes. I don't need to get into deep depth for that one. You guys know what's going to happen there. There became all these rules with the laundry. She didn't like the way I did laundry. The times that everything I did, I could barely breathe in that place, which is another reason why I left. You ever had a bad roommate experience that's constantly dictating everything you do, even the way you wash a dish, anything. You just decide, I'm going to eat out all the time. I'm not even going to be at the house. And that's exactly what I started doing. Now, Rita's party. Now, Rita is one of Stefan's besties. Somebody who vouches for his bad behavior and even helps him get these people in there. She's the one, when the young girl enters in, she goes, you've made a great decision being here. She's like the person who helps the cult leader. She is a danger to that environment, okay? I don't know how else to explain it. But she's the welcomer, okay? She's a gremlin, and not because she looks like one, but because she is one. It just, So, I'm making these crock pots, because at the time I was on good terms with her, and I did what I was told to do. I was going to bake all of the food. I bought the food for the thing. Why would I waste my own money? I bought the food for this event. I cook it, and I put them all in the crock pots, again, in a room that has a camera running 24/7. And it was for the party for Rita's birthday. Rita's allergic to pepper. And since I had cooked for Rita multiple times before, she knew that I knew this. Alana, on camera, because I had to get Stefan, because somehow pepper ended up in all of the crock pots, and it was causing an allergic reaction with Rita. So, again, Alana was trying to frame me for murder. I don't want to, And I thought that was pretty nuts.
So, the gremlin, okay, who says to everybody, you made a great decision by coming into this cult house, was allergic to pepper, of all things. And so K-Bear was cooking and was putting all the food into crock pots, and she was then going to leave. And, like, K-Bear, I just said, like, and K-Bear has cooked for the gremlin many times before and knows her allergies very well. So she's never put pepper in her food before. So Alana, we know Alana's a snake. So Alana, I think she's going to tell us in part 5 that Alana took the crock pots into an area that didn't have camera surveillance and put pepper in the food to try to kill the gremlin and frame K-Bear for her schmurder.
That's when I kind of told Stefan, like, this is it. I want to see what happened, because I know I didn't add pepper. He's like, well, maybe you added it by accident. No, I did not. I knew not to. And it caused a lot of drama. People were like, why would K-Bear do that to you? Why would she put pepper in this to do this to you on your birthday? What is her beef with you? So it created a bunch of commotion.
Especially on her birthday. On her birthday. On your birthday of all days. On your birthday?
And then we look back at the cameras, because I forced Stefan to bring it up. He didn't want to. And you see Alana take the crock pots out of the kitchen into the only area that has no cameras.
The only area.
So she put pepper in them. So as I'm gone from the house, I said, Stefan, I didn't do it. You don't see me do it on camera. And I was not at the house after that. I left.
Birthday?
So how could it have happened? I wasn't even around. So I thought, okay, this woman's out for blood. Like, I mean, you could not like me, but Jesus, you're willing to risk your own friend's life because you want to make me look bad. That is on another level of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And so I told Stefan, like, I've had it. I'm done. I'm done with this. I don't want to deal with this. All right, so Alana, Audrey become...
Yeah. So this is Alana, I guess, in the blue top. Yeah, when all the pick-me's live together. Oh my God. And you did it at my birthday dinner. Yeah. Yeah. So K-Bear sounds like she had financial resources. Why would she choose to say it? She says at the very beginning that she felt that the house itself, because she makes content. She's like OnlyFans or Phoebe type of content. So she felt that the venue itself would be a good place to make content. So like the pool, and there might be other women there, because there would be other, there are other women there who also make that type of content. They could do collabs. They could, They could be like in the kitchen doing content. Because that's the type of content she makes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Besties, you know how that goes. I don't need to get into deep depth for that one. You guys know what's going to happen there. There became all these rules with the laundry. She didn't like the way I did laundry. Okay, I swear. Part 6. I know. I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to show videos. And I'm going to show stuff. And all of this storyline will be worth it, guys. I feel bad that I'm just talking and talking.
Wait, was I muted? Or did you hear me talk? I might have been muted.
Talking and talking. Anyways, okay, so this is Stefan. Stefan wasn't doing anything about Alana, and I kind of had enough. So I'm like planning my escape route, which I kind of had been for a little bit at the time. Again, like I said, it was 4 months. I think 2 months in, I realized, I really got to figure out how to get out of here. There were underage people being brought in. He was having parties almost every night. There's random.
Okay, thank you, Toasty. There were underage people being brought in, and he's having parties every night. What? See? Okay. And that started with like a little rumor. Like, oh, he's like, he's got like underage people in the Discord. That's how it starts. You just hear like this little, like a whisper of something. Like, oh, underage people in the Discord. Or, oh, like I told them to come back when they're of age. Like, you just hear little murmurings. Okay, and then you got someone like, hey, there were underage people in the house. Of course there were.
People in there. Also, as much as I knew what kind of guy he was, I didn't know the extent. Okay, I'm not trying to say I didn't know he was not a creep, because I knew very well he was a creep. But when you get there, I mean, he walks around the house in his birthday suit to the pool. I mean, if he's deciding he wants to do a little fool around in there, you're going to see it all, because the pool room faces the kitchen and the living room, and if you go down there for a snack or anything, you look over, you're going to see it all going down. It's multiple people sometimes. Sometimes it's only one person. Sometimes it's multiple people. You could be in the pool, and then he shows up, and then he starts doing whatever he's doing, and you're in the pool. There's not really a respecting line, and you're not.
So he's walking around the house naked. The pool, I believe, looks out like you can, because he's got a new house now, so I don't know how it was laid out then, but yeah, like you can see into some room. But if you're in the pool and he's in the pool and he's naked and he wants to, whoever's in there, he's not going to ask, he doesn't care about privacy at all. He's just going to do what he's going to do.
There for it to be an environment for everyone. You're there for him. He wants you there to defend for him, to listen to him vent, and to do what he wants to do. And if you're not doing those things, then you are not welcome in his life. He talks about every single woman that's done him wrong without taking any accountability for anything he's done wrong. The first thing he ever did when I showed up was tell me the stories about Piggy and everybody else and why they're bad people, and then showed me videos on his footage, which is how I know about the blackmail stuff, of women that were in his house that he made break to a breaking point. And I remember at the beginning going, man, these women are awful. You poor thing, you've just really been through it. And this is how every girl starts in that house. They go, oh my God, poor Stefan. I feel so bad for you that you met all of these crazy women and they're doing all of these crazy things to you. And then you're seeing these videos of them acting in a bad manner because they've been brought to a point that you don't know about. And you're going, oh my God, they're really bad. And then you're realizing it's him.
Keep in mind, okay, if you've never seen this before, like in your life, if you ask a man or a woman, either way, either one, if you have that conversation about former relationships and every single one of their exes is crazy, a psycho, had issues, all this stuff, right? And everything that they've been put through, and they never acknowledge something that they did or that they haven't worked on, and every single one of their exes is a psycho, and they can't acknowledge any part of their wrongdoing in a relationship or something that, a mistake that they made or anything, you got a Stefan on your hands, or a Stephanie. A Stefan or a Stephanie. And like she just said, and then you see the ex, if you come across them, acting crazy. And it may not be because they're crazy. It may be because that person has driven them to a state where they are acting like they could be crazy, but they're not. They're not. Sometimes people get pushed and pushed and pushed. I know I've been. And I've been in a state where I've been like, oh my God, look at me. Look at me. Like, I need to take up an effing step back. What am I doing? You know? Sorry, Stephanie. Except for Stephanie P. Oh my God. Yes, present company excluded. Yeah, if they're unable, except for school, of course. But it's a huge red flag. It really is huge. And I remember I had a friend. It was a friend, and they did turn out to be a psycho. It was a platonic friend. And I'm like, because they didn't have a girlfriend for years. And I'm like, well, let's, let's talk about it a little bit. Like, well, this girl, she was this and that one, that. And like, well, what do you think your part in any of that was? Nothing. Okay, but for real, like if you really had to think about it, if you had to do it all over again, nothing. Okay, And I'm just like, okay, he needs a little more self-reflection, maybe a little therapy. No, psycho, absolute psycho. Because everyone in your life is a psycho, you're the common denominator. Yeah. So Stefan is the psycho here. Yeah.
Him and his people bring you to a point where you're screaming and losing your mind. He brings you there and then pretends like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm just a calm, friendly Stefan. And I've just really been through it. Will you take care of me? Okay, I swear. Part 6. I know. I'm so sorry.
Take care of me. Oh, part 6. There's more. Part 6.5.
Okay, so I'm going to get to the juicy part, but I just want to put this in midway. The women that are currently living at Stefan's or participating or still hanging out with them, I know that for anybody who takes my side or takes anybody from the sides on the documentary tonight and they go, well, those women are trash, all of them. You can't say that. We don't know where they are in this journey. A lot of them are very young and whippersnappers, and some people just naive and they want to believe what's in front of them, what they're being told. They haven't experienced life the way that some of us have. So I don't want it to be like every woman in there right now who's vouching for Stefan is the devil. It's not like that. It's really not. When I was first living there, like I said, I believed everything Stefan had told me. I really thought Paola was bad. I thought that Piggy was terrible. I thought that the videos of the women he showed me were psychopath women. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you, Stefan. I just can't believe it. He is very good at manipulating facts and the truth to make you feel one way. So to those women, some of them are going to see this and they're going to be like, screw K-Bear. She's terrible. How dare she try to profit off of this? She's doing this for this and she's doing that. No, I'm taking my chance to speak because I feel safe to speak now. I feel safe to be able to come back into the picture and tell my side of things, which we haven't even fully gone to it yet, because of the fact that other people have chosen to speak out and do something that I felt like I couldn't do. The people that are speaking in this documentary, I have to give them props because Stefan is one of the scariest people I've ever encountered in my life. And going against him is the part of the story that I'm at now to tell you guys what I experienced as was hell. It's probably the worst thing I ever went through in my whole life, and we're getting to it now. Okay? So I just want to put that in there. Now let's go into part 7.
Part 7.
Okay, so, all right, this is where the story takes a dark turn. This is where we're finally getting into where...
Now we're taking a dark turn? Oh my God. See what I mean? It goes on. And now we're taking a dark turn. Jeez. Jeff, thank you. This guy is what Emily would be if she had money. She would have a whole house full of women with floppy bellies. Yeah. She would. She definitely would. She would choose to sleep under a different belly every night. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Now? Yeah. What do you mean now? Oh, now it turns dark? Yeah, now. Yeah, now we're getting dark. Now we're taking a dark turn. I thought you meant what do you mean now she's going to sleep under different bellies? Yeah, now. Why not? No time like the present.
It really gets juicy. So I leave Stefan's for my birthday, and I realized with that piece, I was ready to go. I was going to get the hell out of there and never come back. All right, and that's exact. And then while being gone for my birthday is when Alana's going into my room, and I caught her on that ring light because I had just put it in there, and I catch her on there, and I'm like, here's my proof. I knew she was going into my room. One thing is, like, I was constantly sick in that house, and to be quite honest, it felt like she was poisoning me. And she was going into my bathroom, and I don't know what she would do.
Poisoning her? Wow.
It was very weird.
Wow.
So I'll show that video. Again, you guys will see the full clip. And I confronted Stefan and said, if you're not going to handle her, I can't live in this environment. And I can't live with all of the other things that are going down. I think it's best that we stay friends, but I'm going to leave. And I knew to play it that way because I had seen what he had done to other women in that 4-month time frame. I didn't want to be a part of it. All my life is online. I can't turn it off. I can't turn off Instagram. I can't turn off TikTok. I can't turn off anything for a mental health break. If I don't consistently stay on here, no money is to be made. And I gotta pay bills and life is getting expensive. I have no choice to stay on here. So there was no taking a breather and letting go. And the other thing is, one thing if you know Stefan is that he never lets it go. He lives in his past. He chronically talks about the same women over again, including me, and he's never stopped. So even if I stopped and I had stopped, he just kept going. So I was like, I'm just gonna make peace and leave. That was not possible because he saw my paycheck leaving. He saw my $2,000 a month that he was not even supposed to be renting people out because it was against his HOA. He saw his money fleeting because I didn't want to be there anymore. So then it became a personal attack with him, and then that's when he got his entire army against me. Another thing that he did was start blackmailing me, start telling me that if I didn't basically vouch for him and change my story and lie, that he was going to blackmail me by posting a video of me fighting with my boyfriend. And like I said from the beginning of this, I'm not a great person, and I never stated I was. But whatever the hell that cult is, I'm better than that. And it is very toxic in there. And so he's had his minions send out that video where he thinks I don't know he's done it, but he's had Audrey and all these other women sending this video out of me fighting with my boyfriend to say I'm a big abuser to everyone I'm in contact with. Which at this point, I've just accepted it because, you know, you can't go back in time. You can't change the past, but you can change the present. I know who I am today, and I know. All right, this is where the story takes a dark turn. So then let's get to the end. So yes, there is a video of me and my boyfriend fighting. And that was the only thing that he was using as blackmail to keep me silenced. And since he's already sent it out to everybody else, and having his flying monkey send that video out to stop models from wanting to work with me because they think that I'm still that way. Like I said, I have made lots of mistakes in my life, and nowhere have I said I'm perfect. I take accountability, and the actions in that video are not good. Okay, I've always owned up to what I have done and what my relationship was like with him, and the fighting and all of that kind of stuff that used to go on in the past was not appropriate and not right, but we have all made mistakes. But this problem that Stefan does, he's been doing his whole life, and he does not change. He does not take accountability, and it's very bad. It's very, very bad. And I feel for and worry for all of the new women that keep going into that place. And no matter how much Piggy or Paula or any of these other women try to warn people from going into there, he has an easy way of having others defend his case and make him look like it's a safe place to go. So one thing is, I hope that my word goes out. I will share my evidence of the lives I have experienced. Like I had to go on these lives to try to defend my case. I was worried about my career. They were finding forums, they were making Reddits about me, they were posting content, they were blackmailing people, they were doxing my boyfriend. He knew that my boyfriend wanted to keep his life very hidden, and he even made a fake name for my boyfriend when he was there so that his name wouldn't even get out. He didn't want anybody knowing about his family, and Stefan doxed him on live in front of hundreds of people, thousands of people, doxing his family, the whereabouts, and all of that, and that is a big no-no. Especially when he had done nothing to Stefan, and Stefan was only doing that to get at me, because he knew it would create drama between me and him. And it was just a bad cycle. It was just a continuous, like, from one day, it was like dominoes, it was never ending. It was a new thing every day. Well, what's the day going to be like? Living with my heart racing and wondering what was going to happen in my career even. Even lots of lies and him manipulating facts, manipulating truth to get away with things. I just felt like, oh my God, no matter even if these people see proof, there's no getting him down. But I'm so glad for Investigation Discovery to do something about this and post, at least to hear the other people's side from a larger perspective. I can't wait to watch it. I know all of. So then let's get to the end.
How about this?
So yes.
Okay, we're not going to objectify women, okay? I understand they're distracting. I know. But no, we're not going to do a poll on if she's... Oh, I guess they're only 8. So, yeah. Oh, here's the video of Alana sneaking into her room. Look at this. She's got it on video. Look at her sneaking in. She's got it on video. Isn't that crazy? Like, why are you going in her room? She should have a key to her room, though, to lock it. What the heck? Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So that's K-Bear, Cutie, BBW, Official. That's who we just watched. Yeah. All right. She had a lot to say. Okay. So. Whew. Boom, 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 boom. Something tells you Stefan has a no-lock policy? Probably. Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, we trust everyone here. We don't do locks in our house. No. Right. Okay. So we'll go on to the next recording. Let's see. June 17th. Let me see how long this one is. 24 minutes. Okay, so they're saying they felt uncomfortable because he was filming them all the time when they were eating, and they felt really uncomfortable. So Heather Edmonds, the Kris Jenner of the group, says when you come to Pearadise, it's always the same routine. He's going to drive them down the strip and take them to the Heart Attack Grill. And if you're over 350 pounds, you eat for free at the Heart Attack Grill. So everyone weighs in, of course, and he films it. And so it's like a stage, and they have to get up, and there's like a woman on a microphone saying, okay. And yeah, they're like going to announce the weight. So the whole restaurant is watching. And so Rissa is up. She's like 570 something. Audrey's over 500. So they're all eating for free. He's the only one who's going to have to pay. Ugh. And he says you can see the viewer numbers spike up. It's like double the number of viewers. There's got to be a ton of hate watchers too, though, right? Like, the comments are probably pretty brutal. Probably a few nice ones, obviously, but yeah. And then there's a scale on the outside of the restaurant, too. And I guess he made TikToks of them weighing in on the outside. And it's like, I think it's one big scale, and all the girls are getting on the scale together. and it's like over 1,000 pounds. 2656. 1,400, and there's like 3 of the girls. So the sex therapist is saying, let me see, I don't want to misquote him. If you have a fetish that is tied to watching other people consume food and or how their body changes as a result. Oh, that's a good question. No, he doesn't get on the scale. He never weighs himself where we can see what he weighs. No, he doesn't. And that's where you might see social media show the making watching people eat erotic. And for someone who has wait, I have it way sped up too because I'm just trying to get through it at this point. So I'm trying to repeat what he's saying. For someone who has a really traumatized relationship to food or their body, there's a powerful draw. There's a powerful draw to someone who actually says, I'm turned on and enjoy watching you eat. Okay. Yeah, because that's mostly seen as negative. Okay, so Ivy says at Pearadise, he's easing you in to his fetish. And that's Ivy. So Stefan introduced Ivy to Phoebe, the website Phoebe, which is like a feederism website. And he mentioned to her, you can actually have people buy your food and pay for your meals and stuff. She's kind of sounding it like she didn't know about the website before he told her about it. And it's Ivy today on the left. So Stefan says, people come and they use the word feeder as a negative. And yes, there are health concerns, but he finds it interesting. And then there's a TikTok, there's a woman pouring something, and it says, when you're a feedie that just needs a little encouragement, and there's a devil emoji. Ugh. He says, one thing I cannot lie about is I like big girls. So why wouldn't I like a big girl who voluntarily wants to gain weight? I would never say no to that, he said. Well, it's one thing to in my opinion, it's one thing to a certain body type, but to encourage someone to become more unhealthy is a totally other thing. That's a completely different thing. Because you can change certain aspects of your body by going to the gym, you can get a bigger butt, not by you have to eat, but you can just be doing squats. You can be focusing on squats at the gym and doing more compound lifts and stuff. If you really want to build up your butt, it takes a long time, if you're not working with much to start with. But, if that's what you wanted to do. But he's talking about becoming bigger by becoming more unhealthy, consciously. And he says technically between 2 consenting adults, they can do anything. Mm-hmm. So they said technically what's really happening, or she said, sorry, what's really happening at Pearadise is what's happening between the live streams. So not when the live stream is streaming, but when it goes off. And he's in the pool. He's like, I'm signing off because, and then it's hot tub time. So all the women are in the hot tub and they've all taken their swimsuits off and they're taking pictures of each other and stuff. And the photojournalist is saying, like, yeah, if you're, because these are all younger ladies, Stefan now is 53. And he's like, and she's like, these are all like ladies in their 20s. And she's like, and if you come from a small town, if you haven't been exposed to much, like, you may not be aware of what's going to go down. Okay, so Savvy is introducing herself. She said she learned about Pearadise and she joined the Discord in 2021. She, on screen, it says she's a survivor of Pearadise. So she said she was 19 or 20. That is, I mean, think about yourself at 19 or 20. Even if you're like in your late 20s, think about yourself at 19 or 20 and how you are now, the difference in your maturity, the things you know now that you didn't know then. And then think of like a man in his mid to late 40s back then. Like that, okay? So she says that Stefan messaged her and said, wow, you're my type. And she said that no one had ever said that to her before. So right out of the gate, she's enamored, like, oh my God, wow. So they were kind of flirting in DMs or whatever around the server. And she decides that she's going to go there. And she said that she made it clear to him, like, I just want to be clear about, there shouldn't be any expectations of what's going to happen. Like, I don't just give up my body to whoever, just so you know. So she says the first night is, they're in the pool and she's in the pool and she takes off her swimsuit under the water. And the next thing she knows, he's taking a picture of everybody. So, he had said, I heard him say on Loghouse Bus that he goes above and beyond to like make announcements to make sure he has everyone's consent of what's going to happen in the pool and in the hot tub beforehand. I just don't buy it. I just don't see this guy as somebody who's standing in the pool room going, okay, we have some new people here tonight. Just an FYI, some of us will be taking off our swimwear or clothing and it's going to become very adult. And it's okay if you're not comfortable with that, but, that will be happening. Okay. And some people will be going to the living room and playing a game over there. So if you'd rather do that, you have options. I can't see him doing that. Because he seems to have a sense of entitlement. Like, look, if you're here, you know the deal. That is how he seems to be. So I know that people are probably going to say, and I'm not saying anyone here will be, but I'm sure there will be people who say, oh my God, her first night she took off her swimsuit. What did she think was going to happen? Listen, all of that, like, if you're in a situation where you're very comfortable, I don't know if she was drinking or not, but she, like, for the first time in her life, she felt comfortable in her body and she was around other women, maybe much larger than her, who seemed to be very comfortable in their bodies. And hey, like, I feel free here. And maybe we're just skinny dipping. You don't expect someone to bust out a camera. So I think, they have this Kris Jenner of the group. I think Kris Jenner, she's gone now though, but if anything, Kris Jenner should give the new people coming in a rundown. Like, meet her in her bedroom and be like, hey, just to give you a heads up, here's what may be happening later or will be happening. And, if you're not down with that, it's okay. Like, other girls like to just go sit and kiki in the kitchen, like, give options. So it's not like, oh, you're not one of the cool girls if you're not naked in the pool. But I don't think that happens. I've never heard anyone say that happens. And she says, all in the name of body positivity, right? So then she says, all of a sudden, I think she said she was laying on the sofa. Okay. Okay. Lying on the couch in the living room. Out of nowhere, he comes up and grabs her butt. And she remembers laying there thinking like, oh, she didn't want him to keep going. And she said the whole time he was pushing my boundaries and chipping away at them. Any opportunity he could, he was touching somebody. Yeah. It's like, whatever he wants. So then she says she's in the room that was assigned to her. She's sitting on the bed. He comes in, sits on the bed next to her, doesn't say anything. He lifts up her shirt and grabs her stomach. She's legit just sitting there. He comes in, sits, her shirt comes up, he's grabbing her stomach. Ugh. Like, what the hell? So she says she nervously laughed and she was afraid it would lead to something else. What if he gets up and closes the door? Now she doesn't feel safe. And this is, I think, where Chantal is like, well, you could have said no. You should have said no. Yeah. So, in my opinion, okay, for consent, it should be enthusiastic. And a good rule of thumb would be the person should be wanting it more than you do. They should be wanting it even more than you do. And if that's not clear, then you should not assume that you have full consent. So she said that, he's all of a sudden he just kind of stopped, seemed uncomfortable. And she said, and it kind of seemed like he was mad at me after that. Okay. So this really shows to me his state of mind. Like, oh, so I'm not allowed to touch you, or you're not okay with me touching you, or what, you're not attracted, like you're staying here in my house. Like what, you're not cool with this? And he was standoffish to her. So what kind of place of acceptance is this? If it's truly body positivity and total acceptance, how about he just admires you as a beautiful woman from afar, without no touchy, just admire, just look. But that's not enough for him. He's going to get mad if you're not okay with being touched. So Ivy says he's a brilliant mind, but he's also a POS. And if you're in his house, you kind of have to let him grab you. Okay, so Ivy says she was at the time like 25, 26, and Stefan was 43, 44. And this was the first night she was there. And the girls pointed at her and said she should be worried because she's his type. She says having sex with Stefan wasn't required, but it felt like an unspoken rule. Blech. It's so gross. It's so gross. It's so predatory. Wow. So Ivy says Stefan wants a harem of fat women that he can choose and pick and choose from on a day-to-day basis. So Pal is talking now. She's the girl with the red hair. She said that she was Cass's best friend and that Cass loved him, loved Stefan. And Stefan would talk about like this sister wife type of situation. Gross. And that Cass would kind of go along with it, but, you know, she really wasn't 100% down with that. And she would have done anything for him. So Savvy says that there was a lot of manipulation, and she said despite what he had done to her, she was afraid of hurting his feelings, and kind of sounds like afraid of rocking the boat in the house, like the overall vibe of the house if she spoke out at all. Now we're on to episode 2, and Piggy has entered. Oh God. Kimmy, her name's Kimmy. Yeah, Piggy Stardust. Okay. So Piggy says that she came across this is gonna get weird, okay? And I only know about this from watching episodes of Lolcow Bus. I know. And you know, it was disturbing, okay? And Piggy herself talked about it, okay? So, girl that has a lot of hatred for Stefan. She even says it herself. She says she's never hated anyone so much in her life. She's never met him. She's never been to Pearadise. Okay. I learned some stuff about her recently, which makes her even more perplexing. So she says that at first she saw that, you know, she saw, I guess, on TikTok and was like, oh, this is amazing. You know, everyone go give his page a like, a comment, you know, like, let's support him, you know, body positivity, yay. And then, I don't know, something happened and she turned and was like, I'm going to expose you. And then people started like, yeah, I knew something was going on over there, right? So now she's like the spokesperson for the essay that has happened in the house. And it's very strange. She has a lot of emotion about it. And as I said, she has nothing to do with anything going on over there at all. Like nothing. So Savvy is one of the people who has reached out to Piggy Stardust to come forward and say, I am one of the victims. Okay, Savvy is the one who said that she was photographed in the pool, that he came into the room and grabbed her stomach and, you know, touched her butt on the sofa. Okay, so she has gone to Piggy Stardust to talk about this. And that, you know, gives Piggy a lot of validation that, yes, he's a predator and all of this, right? And this is essay. So it was on Lolcow Bus that I guess everybody already knew this, but no one wanted to bring it up. But that Piggy Stardust is either involved or she has an OnlyFans or something. But it's about, this is a whole other topic, but I think it might be tied in somehow. All right, I have to give a brief trigger warning here. Okay, as if this whole thing isn't a trigger warning, right? So this next kind of topic, okay, involves something called consensual non-consent. Which, if you haven't heard of that before, is a very specific type of thing that some people enjoy, that is a fantasy that can be played out, that is consensual, but the fantasy is that it's not consensual. So the it's an R-word fantasy, okay? And this is what Piggy Stardust is very involved in online, which makes it even creepier, okay? I know, like, it's the levels of this, there's so many levels to all of this, because each person has their own story. Each person is complex. Each person is coming at it from their own angle. And you could just, there's no end to how deep you could go with this, I feel. But it was brought up on Lolcow Bus, and someone kind of mentioned it, and the hosts were kind of like, oh, no, we're not going to talk about that here. And it was Piggy Stardust herself who said, no, we can go there. We can go there. So, okay. So, so she talked about it. Apparently, she's got some kink herself, which involves something called CNC. Okay. And that's an abbreviation, or it's an acronym rather, for something called consensual non-consent. And I'm saying it spaced out like that for a reason, okay? Which is kind of like a fantasy of being R-worded. Okay, so now people have corrected me in the chat that that is not correct. So I don't know a whole ton about that. So thank you for correcting me that it is not that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. You're consenting in advance to be pretending to not be consenting. And this is what she's into. She says that she had her own traumatic experience and that this is how she deals with it, by staging these experiences for herself. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I'm not even live. I'm just recording this, but I can already see the chat. I can already see you guys. Okay. I know. I don't know. So, hey, you know what? Of course, everyone is into their own thing, and it's I don't care. It's none of our business. And I don't care what she's into. But it made me think, okay, I don't know if it's an OnlyFans or she's on a different website, but she does have thousands of followers in what she does as far as that goes. So it just made me think, is this why she goes so hard on Stefan and what she accuses him of? Do you see what I'm saying? To like drum up business or I don't know, because she has nothing to do with Stefan, has never been to Pearadise. And this is what she's into. And she has a ton of clients. So, because she has a lot of emotion for something that she's not involved in. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that? Because apparently everybody on Loud Cow Bus knew about it. Like they must have been talking about it in the Discord or something. But no one, like, I think people were bringing it up in the chat. But people on the panel were like, no, don't bring it up. And she was like, no, it's okay. We can talk about it. And, it was like, oh, okay. But I was like, well, wait a minute. Does that have anything to do with why? I mean, she's really got a lot of vitriol for Stefan, someone that she's never met, someone that she's never been to Pearadise. She's never really talked to a person who was victimized by Stefan until Savvy came forward. And Savvy only came forward because Piggy was putting out all of these videos, between 3 to 5 videos a day on TikTok, accusing Stefan of doing all kinds of things. But no one had ever come to her at that point to say that he had done something to them. You don't think she's drumming up business? You think she's projecting her own stuff onto him? She seems to have a lot of past traumas. I had no idea about that. I just thought she was unhealthily parasocial. I mean, the amount of passion she has behind all of this towards it, it's like there's something going on there. There's something. It's not just like, oh, I side with women and this is awful. I mean, Piggy is why they ask you to prove how you got your answer on math tests. She had the right answer, but no one understands where she got her information beforehand or why she jumped in. Downtown Girl says people have gone to jail over that, being set up to unknowingly commit a crime, thinking CNC was on the table. Oh, wow. Like, I wonder if, I don't know. I just don't know. Is it a factor? I think people need to keep their kinks private unless they want to be kink shamed, which is probably a kink. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Okay, so Emily, the photojournalist, is in the office when Stefan first sees Piggy's TikToks come over saying, like, she was very like, Stefan, you're going to pay for this. And Stefan's kind of panicking, like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? So she's like documenting it. And he's like, what do I do? So he comes out to state his denial, like this did not happen, 100%, absolutely did not happen. And Savvy says, like, we were SA'd. So I guess they asked him what exactly about a plus-size woman makes them attractive to Stefan. And he says, well, that's really the question because I don't know. Okay, now we get to meet Cece, Cipriana Ford, mother of Stefan's twins. And she says she has lived in fear of this man for too long. Okay. She was 21, 22 when they met. And she says he was in his mid-40s. Wow. Okay. So June 17th, 2020. She says she was working a lot. She doesn't say what she was doing for work, but obviously it's like peak COVID time. She goes over to his place. She's in the hot tub, and he comes over and gets in, and she thinks, oh, I hope he doesn't want to have sex. And then she says, but if he wants to have sex, you're going to have sex with him, whether you want to or not. Wow. And that's where I ended that recording. So that's what she looked like back then on the left. And there she is on the right, how she looks today. Yeah. So, yeah. And she was so young. She was so young. That's like, and, as we know, Cece got pregnant and has twins with Stefan. So I have a bunch of those pictures I can show you. And she did have to take him to court. Isn't that unbelievable? She had to take him to court for child support. Like, he's like fake wealthy, completely fake wealthy. He doesn't own his house. Can you imagine this guy? She has to force him, and she had to take him to court. Like a paternity test. Like they're your kids, dude. They're yours, okay? Yeah. And she was texting him, like, no child support yet. Can I have $40 for diapers? No child support. Like giving him ideas of like what to get the kids for, for different things for their birthdays. No food in the house, no child support. Can we have like $20 for a pizza? Like, this is just, I mean, really, really. And you're over here living in a mansion with a bunch of women who are like cooking and cleaning for you. And your baby's mother is living wherever she's living with your twin boys begging for diapers. Piece of crap. He's dressed like the Hamburglar there. Yeah, he actually is, yeah. Well, it's like, he's involved with these women have not, they're young. Like, they're young, they're very obese, they're not going to be emotionally well developed. I mean, we read through the text messages that they exchanged together. And, like there was a lot of toxicity there. But I would kind of expect that between, maybe not, to some degree, between a couple in their early 20s. Like you just haven't learned yet, maybe, how to be totally emotionally mature in a relationship. But he's in his 40s. He should have some idea how to deal with a woman at that point. But he was just laughing at her and blowing her off. Like, sorry, dude, you have no idea what you're doing. That's why you have ladies in their early 20s hanging out there, because you have no clue what you're doing at all. At all. He has a 19-year-old in Germany, wasn't there for him as a father. He sucks. He totally sucks. Yeah, he said it was a joke that he wanted to tell some of the ladies to go to the doctor to say that they were he has no idea what he's talking about. Like he's an idiot. Say that you're pregnant and go to the doctor and ask for Plan B. Well, Plan B doesn't work like that. And no doctors, even if you were to be given a different medication, they're going to give you a pregnancy test first. You don't just take medication. Idiot. But, in case you don't know, Plan B is can work if there was unprotected sex and conception has not yet occurred. If it has already occurred, it's useless. But yeah, he was saying, go to the doctor, tell him you're pregnant to get some pill, and we'll crush it up and put it in her drink. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. It was a joke. Yeah, that's the same as when Foodie says, just kidding. He was really not. Yeah. And he says, it was against my will to become a father. Like, those are the types of things where you're just like, okay, dude. Okay, maybe you should just get a vasectomy, because clearly you should not be reproducing. If it's against your will, yeah. To not wear a condom. Okay. Sounds like a crime. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, he's a moron. And he's dangerous. He's dangerous. Yeah. So there's a lot of issues. And this looks like their baby shower. And we found out from Lolcow Bus that Cece's family is gang affiliated. Which I was like, really? Okay. And I was like, well, I wonder what gang. Because, the Nest, some of us, the Nest, not, I can't speak for the Nest as a whole, but some of us are big fans of the Crip Walk over here. So I was like, I wonder which gang. There's a lot of gangs. But it's a lot of blue in that picture. I'm just saying, there's a lot of blue in that picture. Okay. And I'm not affiliated, and I don't even know anybody who's affiliated, but I do love a good Crip Walk. I do. I love it. But it's probably because they were boys. They were twin boys. That's probably why. Yeah, probably. Yeah. You need to touch some grass after this? I know. But, after even his hair, right? I know, that's the only thing, Ashley. The shirt will throw us off. Yeah. That's the only thing with watching this kind of stuff. It just makes you grateful for your own boring life. Just when you think your own life is like, oh, I don't really have everything all together, and I could be doing better at this, and I could be doing that. It's like, yeah, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad when you see stuff like this. Really not that bad. It's okay. It's obvious why he picks young women. They're more trusting and less jaded. I dare him to try manipulating an older menopausal woman. Well, my good friend, she was in her early 30s, and she had been dating a guy for like a couple of months, and, she wanted me to meet him. And there was some, she had been talking to me all about him and everything. And there were a few questionable things I was curious about, some behaviors. Because she would ask me, my opinion on things. And I met him. And he's he's pretty much like exactly my age, I think a year younger than me. And, and I'm a lot older than my friend. And I mean, he looked a little nervous meeting me, I have to say. He looked a little nervous because I'm like, oh, I know exactly what he's doing. I know oh, okay, listen, I know exactly what he's doing. And this is why. I'm sorry. Yes, you are mature. Of course, yes, you are. But listen, there's a reason he's not dating a woman a little closer to his own age. I'm sorry. No, unfortunately, I wasn't able to scare him straight. He was able to scare everyone out of her life. Sadly. Yeah. He wasn't kidding. He just opted for the surprise spermicide instead. Oh my God. Yeah. Right. Well, it's funny because I remember being younger and I usually dated men who were around 10 years older than me, and I just thought that was normal. I just thought it was normal. But now I see it. I don't think 10 years is that bad. I would, 10 years now feels a little too old of a dude. I tend to look a little bit younger, towards younger men now, but anyway, yeah, you just clock it way quicker. So, older, when you're around people your own age, it's easier to compare. Where are you in your life? Look at Chantal, for example. Where is Salah in his life? He's going to look at Chantal or an older woman in general as wow, you have your own place, you have a car. That's huge. That's huge to a young man or a young person in general. You dated a married guy without knowing because you were dumb in your 20s. It happens. Some people are trash and hide things and are nasty. Yeah, but now you probably know the signs to look for. Now you know, oh, he can never see me on the weekend. It's usually Monday right after work or Wednesday at lunch dates. Thursdays at 4 p.m. Yeah. When I was 21, I briefly dated a guy in his 40s. Huge mistake. Now I realize why he couldn't get a woman in his own age, right? Yeah. For you, it's 3 years younger or 3 years older. Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your ex-husband was 10 years older than you. After 6 years married, I realized our age greatly affected our ideal long-term goals for family planning. Now you date someone 2 years older and you're way more aligned. Interesting. You were 19 and dated a 38-year-old? Yeah. Well, you just quit dating altogether. A lot of people are choosing that, Well, a lot of people are choosing that. A lot of people. You're grateful that as you age, so do the people you find attractive? That is good. That is good. Now you check the hands. Weird hours, a red flag. Not falling for that again. I do not like eating some other woman's leftovers. I'm fat, but I have standards by the gods, of course. Yeah. Social media has helped men committing adultery. Yeah. Not looking to play mommy and you know better. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're if you're a woman and you're dating a man close to your age, you're gonna expect him to kind of have his life together. If you're 30 and up, 35 and up, you're gonna kind of expect him to have a few things set up. But if the guy's 35 and he's living with a bunch of roommates and doesn't have a car, he's probably going to choose a 20-year-old woman. Of course, the attraction, of course, but also she's not going to expect that much from him. She doesn't know what to expect, that she should be expecting him to kind of have his life together. So. The real spark plug the fox says, thankfully for me, I'm bisexual, and after my last relationship, I'm done with men, but that's a personal preference. There you go. Yeah. All these old men stepping out on their wives are 20 plus years after, oh, yeah. Yeah. You never know. Dudes tend to latch onto women with resources. We call them hobosexuals. Yes. What do you think, if anything, will happen as a result of the documentary? It was definitely eye-opening, don't you think? I think that I went into it thinking, oh, wow, this guy's, I went into it thinking this guy's probably a creep. But I did feel that the women probably had more autonomy than what they actually probably do. I hope that it serves as a huge caution and warning to anybody who has thought about going there or wants to go there. You want to know what's going on in the Pearadise Discord right now? Yeah. Because I'm sure a lot of people have seen it on TikTok or wondered about it and maybe thought it would be a goal to go there. And now they can really see. Seems like a cool place, but wow, that guy sure is creepy. And the more I saw of him on Lolcow Bus or any platform that he would jump up on, he would just talk and talk and talk and talk. Too much. Way too much. He wouldn't really allow anyone to ask questions, and when someone did ask questions, he would talk too much, and he really wouldn't answer the question. I don't like that. Just answer the question directly. It shouldn't be that difficult to me. Tejancita, thank you so much for gifting 10 Are You Serious memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tejancita. We got Kathy Sinclair received one of those. Alessandra Bonito got one. Nerdy Nerd got one. The Original Hamburglar. Tiffy Tough. Serene Sapphire. Also, Yasmina D. Foodie's Wasted Pre-Rolls. Oceana Song, Terrific Trey. You have all received a free 30-day membership from Tejancita. Please be sure to give her a big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much, Tejancita. Appreciate you and appreciate you for helping the nest to grow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks. And it looks like we are celebrating some time of sobriety in the chat. So congratulations. I think it happened a while back. I'm just kind of scrolling through. Ray Murda. 263 days sober today. That is wonderful. Keep up the great work. He reminds you of the BBW King who was seeing one of the Slayton sisters. You think it was Tammy? Really? Oh, wow. What do you guys think? What do you think will come out of all of this? appreciate that, Teoncita. Thank you. I think it just gets like they had Xiomara like depicted in episode 3. She was depicted in episode 3, and she is still in the rehab facility, and she's still able to eat there and everything. And I just find that extremely depressing. Like, they brought her food there. They brought food to her there. Like, she had very serious health complications. It's just awful. It's awful. But I think watching some of that did seem to shake up Chantal a little bit. Just a little bit. But, I mean, that's not going to change anything. It just shook her up very momentarily. Probably nothing, yeah. Hopefully no more girls come to the house. Young girls, yeah. Hopefully. I see it doing a few things. Nothing super narrow or one way. Don't know how to explain it, but it'll branch off a bunch of things, positive and negative. Just my initial thoughts, yeah. Nothing, probably. He'll go back to being a gross weirdo and he'll have new girls. I don't think anything will come of this, to be honest. He's a pimp. I find that wild too. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Sadly, little to nothing. I honestly believe it will make women that are vulnerable to him know what's up and check the whole thing 3 or more times before even caring for his compliments. Good for him. I hope he's alone. Yep. Sadly, I think it will lead to more women going there. Like they say, any press is good press. Okay, that's possible. Yeah. Women are into true crime. Not all, but many women are. They will watch. They will see what he does and says and run away. Oof. I'm curious to see if we're going to hear about people who've been through similar situations in houses or compounds based on kink. There's an adult baby diaper town being built. You think in Nevada? Porcelain? Oh my God, that's awful. You think she's jealous, Abriana? Toasty? Toasty? Did you just send something, Toasty? Never. Okay. Oh. No, she didn't. I apologize. It was a false. It was from before. It was like a delayed notification. How embarrassing. Sorry. A diaper? A diaper place? Oh my God. That's going to be shut down. That no one's going to allow that. I would hope. Foodie Beauty wants to prove that she's not like those other girls. Oh, God. She's so cringe. Maybe at least potential ladies will see he doesn't have the money he pretends to have. At least that. Like, if you're going there thinking that he's some wealthy dude that's going to finance something for you or whatever, he's not. He's not. Don't go there for that. Foodie Beauty will have the same ending as Life by Jen, Katie said. Looks like it's heading that way. The only part that shook Chantal was the fact that Rosie was on the show and she wasn't. I know. Her feelers got hurt that she's too old, vulgar, and stupid to be involved in a network production. It's true. It's true. It's true. When HBO ran the show Cat House, it actually brought attention to it and women walked there. A bad place. That's the rabbit hole. I went down the Moonlight Bunny Ranch last night. I assume you mean it, like you said, worked there, probably. That's nasty. Adult babies are weird, and many end up, with charges. Oh, my God. Flocked there. Oh, flocked there. Okay. It's that dial-up. Oh, my dial-up is so slow lately. Did you hear it earlier? It was like triple playing my stuff. Oh my God, it was awful. I was like, oh my God, I have to call AOL and see what's happening. Oh, it was so bad. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, I'm connected. Enough. It's okay. I'm connected. Oh my God. Enough. Oh my God. Stop. It was my AOL. Okay, it's okay. I'm connected. I'm connected again. It was my AOL. It was my America Online. It reconnected. Is that DJ dial-up? Thank God, no. Thank God, no. It scared you? I'm sorry. Are you old enough to remember? Is that why it's so scary? It used to be scary. Man. Get off the internet. I have to make a phone call. The good old days. Oh my God. Whew. Oh, it was awful. You feel old hearing that? Yeah. Did you have the AOL compact disc? No. Luckily, we had a computer nerd in the family, so we never had to deal with any of that stuff. We had all kinds of parts put together to make a super machine of some sort. I'm so glad we can browse the internet while having a phone call at the same time. I know. Maybe my AOL disk is scratched. Your Prodigy connection is very stable. Well, that's wonderful. Wow. You used to stay up super late and put a towel over the thing in hopes that it would muffle the sound. You had the discs and used AIM to I am your grandma. Oh, 512 megabytes of RAM. Wow. AOS was stealing Wi-Fi. Oh, yeah. Wi-Fi? We didn't even have laptops. What are you talking about? We had desktops with Ethernet cables coming out of the wall. Come on. I was in Yahoo chats. It was the place to be because it had voice chat, but it was only one person on the mic at a time. And you had to let go of the mic so someone else could use it. So so in some Yahoo chats, as an abuse of power, someone would take over the mic and not let it go. I'm serious. There was no Wi-Fi. We didn't have like routers. No. Modems. No. I mean, no. I mean, there was a modem, but like, there was no Wi-Fi. The paperclip. Yeah, Clippy. Your Commodore 64 used cassette tapes. Wow. Yeah, I had floppy disks. You put your resume on a floppy disk. I can hear the squeaky door open sound when someone showed up clear as day. Why not Fi? That's right. Napster, yeah. Oh, yeah. Torrenting. Oh, God. I don't even understand how to torrent now. And I used to use, what was it? Oh, I don't remember. It wasn't Napster. It was something else. I don't know. For music and stuff. LimeWire. That's what it was. LimeWire. Oh, yeah. Kaza. I use that too. Yeah. Back then, AOL had Love at AOL before dating sites. I chatted with some cool peeps and the chat rooms were fun. Nice. You had a word processor before dial-up? Yeah. I had a GeoCities website too. Oh, we taught ourselves HTML. Mm-hmm. Would take hours to download one song. Yeah. And then you felt like a badass because you had an illegal song. Wondered if like you were gonna get in trouble for it. Wait all night for a song to download only to get the wrong song because someone mislabeled it. Oh my God. Yeah. Like someone trolling. Oh my God. Is it a virus or is it Slim Shady? When burned CDs took over for mixtapes. MySpace. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone ever get a real letter from your ISP admonishing you for downloading stuff you did twice? No. Oh, wow. You're a badass. Metallica. Yep. Or the end would cut off, right? You get a virus from downloading Sim skins? Wow. You've refused to listen to Metallica for this day for that very reason. Wow. Hmm. Your ISP didn't care as long as you paid on time. You guys got mail? You didn't? Aw. I bet you did. You just didn't check it. Let me take this logo off the screen. Is there anything that you guys heard about Pearadise in general that you want to talk about? Because I probably do know about it because I did watch all the episodes a couple of times. So we could talk about it even if it didn't come up tonight. It still scares me how unscared we were talking to random people we didn't know, hoping we weren't talking to 50-year-old men. Yeah, see, that's interesting because there was no internet when I was a kid. So I didn't grow up with those kind of needing those precautions. Isn't that interesting? Like I never had to worry about that because there was no internet when I was a child. I was always an adult. So it never had to be like a huge precaution. You just had to be normal, careful. Like I would now. ASL, yeah. Someone's mom drove them from another state to visit me when I was in high school. Aw. Was it cool to meet them? Were they like the same? Who went to the documentary, people? How did the documentary come about? It was that photojournalist, Emily. I think she brought it to them. Look at AYS brag about not being groomed or watching people die, stick light bulbs where they don't belong. 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Yeah, I can proudly say I've never seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Never. No. Never. You're still online friends with them? Oh, that's awesome. The internet came around when you were in high school. You cringe now thinking some of the idiocy you get up into chat rooms. Oh, yeah, I met people from the Yahoo chat rooms. A couple of people. As an adult, yes. The first time you sent an email in 3rd grade, the next day I had a response and I thought it was magic. Aw. Everyone was normal back then, right, Darkest Coven? True. You had to shout at someone to not trick you into watching that stupid 2 Girls, 1 Cup thing, but still haven't seen it. 0 interest. Yeah. No. I'm mid-50s, so I only experience things through your kids. Tried to keep them safe. Yeah. Yeah, I have no desire. Yeah, there's no reason. I don't have curiosity about things like that. People, I mean, people look like they look like they're gonna gag when they're talking about seeing it. I'm all set. I'm all set. You met your best friend on Facebook when you were 13? Met in person when you were 18? Oh, you visit her every year? That's awesome. Millennials didn't have to worry about that really, but Gen Z has faced a whole different internet full of predators on like Roblox of all places. Yeah, yeah, that's true. You never got your thoughts organized around Paradise other than hoping he goes away. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't until I watched the most recent Sam at Every Size video that like I realized she was able to kind of organize my thoughts, that it's the way that it's laid out is very disorganized. And I understand why, to keep people's attention, like constantly changing scenes and talking about different people and just keep it switched up constantly. But it's hard to follow. So it's engaging, keeps your interest, but then you're like, wait, who's this and what's their story? That's hard to keep up with if you're really trying to understand what happened. It's that shock value thing. Some people love it. I could do more. I could do without more shock in my life. Yeah. Oh, tell me, guys. Tell me. If you do not have premium and if you're not using an ad blocker at the moment, how was the ad frequency tonight? Was it the same as usual? Was it less than usual or more than usual? Did you notice a difference or no difference? Oh, visually it was beautiful. Oh, it was gorgeous. Yeah, they did a great job. Less than usual? Okay. Less ads, but they were longer. Okay. Same. Okay. You guess less? Less than usual? Okay. Yours were short? Okay. Less ads, but less ability to skip as quickly. Ew. Less skippable, but fewer interruptions. Less but longer ads. Ugh, God. The opening ad was long. What the heck? Okay. So because of tonight's topic, so YouTube, when we're setting up live streams, it gives us an option to select, like, let me give you the exact what it is. Fewer ads, but not skippable. I don't know what's worse though. Which is worse? So I always keep it on automatic mode. It's supposed to optimize the viewer's experience for channel members and snoozes ads during high engagement moments, which one of the Nesties have told me that they have proven that to be false. When they've chatted a lot, they've received more ads. So I have an option to choose low frequency, so it's fewer ads for viewers. It says lower earnings potential. Medium, balanced viewer experience, medium earnings potential, and high, more ads for viewers, higher earnings potential. So I normally by default choose medium, and that's what YouTube sets the default as, medium. But for tonight's topic, I selected low frequency because I didn't think that it would be appropriate to be constantly interrupted with ad breaks on the topic. So it was fewer interruptions, but longer ads and less opportunity to skip, it sounds like. So I don't really know if that's any better. I have no idea if the ads happen for everyone at the same time. I have no idea. That would be helpful because then I could know, I could just we could all take a break, you know, like I could know like, oh, I can get up and let the dogs out. Like we're all taking like a 30-second break. And then like people who have to watch an ad because you can't skip it, you're not missing anything. That would be great. Yeah. You're getting an ad right now, Kiki Queen Pug? They don't happen at the same time? Of course not. I noticed I'm logged into my AYS account on my phone, which does not have premium, and I was getting those ads on the side of the screen. So I like that, but you still can't hear what's going on in the live stream, but at least you can see what's happening. Oh yeah, I get that, dumpster snacks, yeah. Select ultra high ad frequency in honor of Chantal. Hey, I didn't say this, okay? But premium's getting it. It's like every year the price goes up, okay? Everyone's fed up with it. And if you find a way, I'm just saying, if you find a way to avoid them, okay? People have found ways. I can't recommend a method because I don't use one myself. But I've heard that there are some and they work. So, because it's very, very frustrating. It is expensive. It's ridiculous. It literally goes up every year. And I feel like if you're like, I don't know. I don't really, I don't know. And you're like, no, I'm just going to cancel. It's like they ramp up to the point where you're like, it gets ridiculous. So things are tough for many. So if there are other options that work, explore them. Just explore them. No added benefits? Well, how many other added benefits? Well, like you can't turn off your phone and still listen. It's not going to play if you turn off. Yeah, that's true. But, just saying, if you got to take a couple months off, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Oh, definitely, porcelain. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I didn't say anything about that. I'm just saying I want everyone to have a good experience here. And no one should be fleeced for just for watching a live stream, in my opinion. That's good, Panic Tank. Hey, I know not all of them work that great and not all of them, are harmless, but I'm sure there are some that are great and work great and don't do any harm. So, mhm. you have a phlebotomist coming to your house and DoorDash coming afterwards, and you have to tip both of them, so you'll have to deal with it, or you're banned. Oh, yeah, that, yeah. Yeah. So Panic Tank, just, just read what they say, okay? Just saying. Life is hard enough. Hey, Kiki Queen, I 100% appreciate that more than you know. Believe me. I'm just and normally I don't think I've ever said that. I've ever said this in my life, and I've been on YouTube since 2018. I don't think I've ever said this before, but like people are getting squeezed everywhere, at the gas pump, at the grocery store, trying to heat and cool your house. Like, enough is enough. Sometimes you just want to sit down and watch YouTube. You're getting squeezed there, So trust me, I appreciate that. But if it's like one less thing, even if it's just for a month or two. Telling you. Oh, Kathy, it's huge. It's huge. Huge. I'm a viewer too. I'm on YouTube all day. I don't have a television. I'm on YouTube. The majority of my entertainment is YouTube. If I had to like wait for ads to do the countdown and then do skip ad, I'd probably be pulling my hair out. For real. It's way too expensive to be a whore. Costs way too much. Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, Kiki Queen. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Like, enough is enough. What are we supposed to do? What in this economy? What are we supposed to do? And we gotta watch ads? Come on. Yeah. Watch ads for things we can't afford to buy. So leave us alone, okay? We're just trying to relax. Some of us paid good money to be squeezed and laid on and suffocated. Okay, some people are paying for that. I wonder, hey, this is a weird question, okay? But I wonder, they don't tell you the price that you pay. True. But like, think about the economy for that kind of stuff. I would assume, right? Like, I finally made a hair appointment, okay? I haven't gone to the hairdresser in a long time, okay? She's not even, I think she's going out of the country. She's not even available for a while. She does, I think every year pretty much. But, those kinds of things, right? Like eyelashes, hair stuff, like haircuts and stuff. All that stuff. Oh, just a haircut. That's it. Just a hair. But my hair is super. She's going to be shocked how long it is. She probably thinks I went to someone else because I haven't been in so long. She's going to be shocked. It's the longest my hair has ever been in my whole life. But that kind of thing, right? Facials, like the luxuries that, in different economies, people aren't paying for. Like, their money is going elsewhere. But it makes me wonder about the people like, the girl we were watching who she makes content. Like, are people cutting back on that kind of thing too? Is that considered a luxury to the people who pay for that content, who need that content or want it? Squashed, yeah. Like, I wonder if they're hurting too. You hate getting your hair cut? How come? Is your hairdresser going to see everyone else before you and make you wait for 3 hours? Then you'll leave for dinner at a chain Italian place with your mom and aunt? I make an appointment. Layla! It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hi, Layla. OF content makes me sad. People ruin their lives using credit cards on people who don't actually know them. Yeah, but they're not. Some people aren't ruining their lives, A lot of, I'm sure a few are, but not everybody. Used to enjoy luxuries like getting pedicure, but these days it's just not in the budget, right? Your son travels around Asia, mostly Japan, and he's very frugal, cuts his own hair. That's awesome. You feel like OnlyFans is kind of like gambling or drugs. Oh, but what if it's not an addiction for somebody? What if it's just like an entertainment thing like YouTube Premium? Tayansi just says, actually, no, same with NSFW furry art. People buy no matter what. Okay. It's not just OnlyFans anywhere. A parasocial relationship can be formed. Certain vulnerable people can end up losing so much. It's true. Yeah. You splurged on luxury fruit. I love figs. More coffee, please. Oh my God. I haven't had a good fig since I left Egypt. I just can't find them in the States. I just can't. That's true. Sex sells no matter the economy. Yep. Yep. But I'm not doing any add-on services. I refuse. My salon changed over owners. They have an add-on cost for my hair, basically. For if you have thick, what was it? Like all these descriptions. Basically, if your hair requires more time to cut, you have to pay more. Isn't that like is I don't feel like it's discrimination because like okay, I get it. I get it. Like I know my hair takes more time, but yeah. And then if I want it finished with a flat iron or some kind of style, it's another fee on top of that. I'm like, we just used to kind of do that. What do you mean? So just the cut, which thankfully, she has to blow dry it and then cut it some more. Just the cut. No styling, just the cut is $110. Just the cut. Just the cut. Just snip, 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 snip. No treatments, shampoo, conditioner, snip, snip. That's it. And thankfully, it has to be blow dried so she can cut more. That's because my hair, and that's it. But no styling. It's not like I chose to have thick hair. Yeah, I know that I'm fortunate, though. Thank God. I know. I know. It's okay. It's worth it. She does a great job. I know. She keeps trying to talk me into having it colored there. I'm like, I don't need that kind of commitment. I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm commitment phobic. No way. Mm-mm. Paying for the electric by the minute for the dryer. Yeah. You usually pay more to get your hair colored because they always need more dye? I'm sorry, but come on. That's crazy. That's crazy. Your hair usually costs between $200 to $400 because you tend to get colors. So you only get your hair done once a year or so. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another reason I don't go colored because, I mean, I feel like I feel like the sky could be the limit when we're talking about finances at the hair salon. I'm good with yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. That hasn't yet happened to me, Kathy. I really hope it doesn't. Not yet, thankfully. They did foils in yours. They ran out. You had to pay for a whole extra set of foils. It's not like you can say no when they already started. Oh my God. Oh my God. And personally, okay, I don't like how they do coloring nowadays. I don't. I'm old school with coloring. You know how they do that root shadow? You know what I'm talking about? That root shadow where they make your roots look darker than the rest of your head if you're going lighter. I feel like I'm being ripped off because it's like, look, my roots are going to come in soon enough. We don't need to be making that area darker as I'm leaving the door. Mm-mm. I don't get that. And thank you. Yes, reacts. Exactly. And I told my stylist that. We were talking about it. She's like, "Oh, I love that. It looks so natural." I'm like, she's older than me. And I'm like, "Are you being serious? Or are you just telling me because you have to say that?" And she's like, "No, it looks great." Well, you can't see her roots because she has like this crazy curly hair. And she's always trying to flatten my hair against my head. I'm like, I don't wear my hair like that. The root shadow. You're going to mix up a whole separate little thing there for my roots? What? To make it darker? My roots are already dark. This is why we're lightening. Sleek. Oh my God, it's crazy. And then I have all these little flyaways. I'm like, what are we doing here? I think she does that because she has curly hair. So she wants mine to be super straight. I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't need to be. And charge for you on top of it. Oh my God. I'm walking out with a different color of hair. What do you mean it looks natural? I'm saying. But I used to bleach my hair. So, yeah. I used to bleach my hair for many years with a toner. So I'm vigilant about roots with light colored hair. Like, I'm gonna leave with dark roots and I'm paying how much? No. Mm-mm. Well, we could balayage. That's another thing I don't get. Like, okay, I get it. It looks good on some people, sure. But it looks like you've got grown out roots. Why are we doing grown out roots? When I'm literally leaving your chair with grown out roots. Shouldn't they look fresh? Why are we starting a foot down my roots? Like, we're starting 6 inches down. What? Oh, I love my stylist. I just don't want to do color there. I think it's just the new way they do color, like within the last 20 years or so. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's too I don't know. It's too casual looking. Like, I like polished looks. It's to hide lack of experience. I'm saying you could take a brush easily, right? Take a big wide you could do that at home. Take a big wide piece of foil, right? You section, you make like go in and out and I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm doing it with my hand like you can see me. So it's not like a choppy section, right? And then you paint it on like a V. Boom, 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 and foil it, fold it up, onto the next one. Like a V. And start like 2 inches down from the roots. So you don't get hot roots. I don't think it's that hard. I don't. Well, see, we're going to do a caramel blonde here. And we're going to do We're going to do a rich coffee here. And Timu wigs for the win. Saying. Pentura and balayage are for natural coloring for the natural beauty trend, which directly foiled the previous ombre, split color, and platinum blonde coloring trends. I guess I was in the platinum blonde coloring trends, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, I guess I don't like natural looks. I don't like natural. I don't like that grown out look. I hate it. I feel like I'm being ripped off. Especially when we're getting into the hundreds of dollars. Why do I look like I have grown out roots already? You bleached the hell out of your hair. Your profile picture was all your work. Wasn't great. Hey, it's hair. We live and learn, you know? And I'm not getting scammed with the, what's it called? Pearadise. No, never. No, it's not happening. We buy root touch up for a reason. Mm-mm-mm. You can't deal with that. Yeah, Layla. I totally get that. I totally get that. The maintenance is definitely, yeah, it's totally a thing. Yeah. Hey, Las Tamale. Your mom regrets dyeing her hair because now she can't let it grow out since it gives her such insecurity. She constantly tells me not to do it and just let the colors change as needed. What do you mean? Does she have like gray roots or something? A lot of people my age are letting their gray hair come out. I am not one of those people. It's not going to happen. I'm a lot of things, but I'm definitely not polished. That's okay. Hey, everyone's got their own vibe and style, you know? Ombre. I always thought that at this age, I would have a bob. I always thought I'd have a bob. But no, my hair's the longest it's ever been. I always thought I'd have a cute angled bob. She's been dyeing her hair since she was 20. She was one of those that had the skunk strip. Oh, that's now hugely in fashion. Now she can't let it grow out because she hates looking different. Aw. You didn't dye your hair anyway? Yeah. Hey, whatever makes you happy. You're never letting your gray show? F the golden years? Same, Sushi Galore. Same. You'll be able to pry my bottle of dye out of my cold, dead hands. I did stop bleaching, though, a long time ago. That was like... It was a thing. Every 6 weeks. And at 6 weeks, I needed to do it. You needed to cut yours like ages ago, but you also don't want to? Because short hair makes you look like your mom. Aw. You dye your eyebrows? You stopped coloring in COVID and let the gray come through. Now you don't want to start coloring again. You've embraced the gray. Okay. You want the gray skunk stripe? You pluck your silvers. One of these days there'll be so many you can't do it anymore. Yeah, be careful with that. You've had a gray stripe behind your ear since you were in your 20s. Wow. You've had gray since your teen years. You'll go to the grave with your hair dyed. Oh. You kind of like your gray. It's the brown that you dislike. That's why you dye your hair. You like your grays. They're white. You're a hillbilly with magic. I said, see, I saw that suburban hillbilly, and I almost said magical. I'm a hillbilly with magical scars instead of massive surgical scars. Magical scars. Okay, let's just call it that. Magical scars and pink bangs. Scary? No, I don't think so. I think not. You have super shiny white hairs. They contrast your actual hair color. Oh, hey, whatever. Your grays are silver against your dark brown hair. You call your grays your tinsel? Oh, you used to bleach your hair too, ramen noodles? Yeah, it is a process. It really is. But when you're freshly bleached, oh, it's so beautiful. Love it. Love it. Yeah. You don't have any yet, but you plan on letting it go? Okay. You don't know what kind of gray you're going to get, though. Think about it that way, Ginsha hater. You know, what if it's like charcoal gray or silver or what? You don't know. You don't know which one you're going to get. And you might get different kinds in different areas of your head. I don't even really know what percentage of my hair is gray because, I've never let it grow that much to find out. I'm sure my stylist will tell me. She can always tell me. She always knows what's going on. Remember, I was trying to convince myself that I had wavy hair, and you guys were like, yeah, maybe. And I was like, what if I tried doing the curly girl method just in case? Just in case there's a little bit of a wave in there. Like, and some of you guys have curly hair, right? Or wavy hair. Like, White Bird wears a bonnet. Abriana, you got something going on with your hair. Something similar. You got something. I know you got something going on with your hair. I remember. And I was like, yeah, so I've been using the curling cream and I'm bending over in the shower and I'm scrunching and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk to my hair. I'm going to talk to her. But she's got curly hair. So I think she's going to tell me I'm crazy and just don't even bother. And you guys were like, no, ask her. She's, like, yeah, she'll tell you. She'll tell you. Well, I went to her, and I'm like, so listen. Listen. Oh my God. She's like, yeah? Oh my God. She must have the craziest clients. It's a weird, it's not a weird place. That's the thing. It's not a weird place at all. But I think she has a couple of weird clients. I'm like, I've been watching these YouTube videos. She doesn't really watch YouTube. I told her about that guy. What's his name? The guy, oh God. The guy that reacts to people bleaching their hair. What's his name? Mondo. I can't remember his first name right now. But she didn't know him. She didn't know anything about him. Brad Mondo. Thank you. I'm like, oh my God, you have to watch Brad Mondo. And I'm like, he reacts to people cutting their own hair. And like, he shows you how to do different things. And she was like, okay, yeah, he seems funny. And I'm like, so I've been watching these like this curly girl method. Have you heard of it? She's like, no. She's just kind of looked at me. No. I'm like, okay, well, you do this. And then she's just like, okay, you know, she's a professional. Okay. She's a master stylist. She's like, okay. And I'm like, what do you think? Because, like, I've tried it a couple of times and, like, nothing really happens. But they say you got to keep it going and you can't use heat on your hair. And I'm like, but, because my hair's not stick straight when I get out of the shower. I might have something in there. And if I keep going, it might pay off. What do you think? Because you would know. Do I have a little bit of a wave? She's like, no. No. I'm like, are you 100% really? Are you sure? No. No. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it. It's like, oh, okay. So it's not worth it. And I'm like, well, I was thinking about getting a diffuser, like just being real gentle and like scrunching. She's like, well, I mean, you could get a diffuser. It's just like, yeah, you could waste your time. It's going to take forever to dry your hair with no payoff. She's like, well, your hair doesn't get frizzy when we dry it. No, you're right. It doesn't. So you don't really need a diffuser. So it's not going to happen? I don't think so. Okay. Everyone wants what they don't have, Your hair girl was just complaining about people learning how to do hair on TikTok. She said it encourages people too. That's what I'm saying. People get bored with their hair and they want to try stuff. I used to all the time. All the time. And I feel like my hair does grow fast. So if I screw up, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't really mess around with it anymore. You've been using his Sabrina Carpenter cut tutorial to cut your hair for ages? Awesome. Yeah. You would love to have naturally straight hair? Yeah. It's to do with the structure of the hair shaft. Right. That's why I figured she would know. Curly and wavy hair shaped more like a ribbon. Right. Exactly. Hey, and that's what I needed, Stephanie. Exactly. She refused to play into my hair delusions. And that's just what I needed. She is, she's not playing along and she's helping me not waste time. Because, more coffee, please. Those videos were starting to convince me there were so many people that started off with hair that I felt looked like mine. And they were like, so I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been doing this for 6 months. This is what my hair looked like on day 1. Look at it. And they show their before picture where they look all sad. And their hair's just kind of hanging. And here I am on day 180. And they have like this beautiful, bouncy, like wavy hair. Like not curly, but just wavy. I didn't apply heat to it. Just like twice a week, I did this process. And look. I'm like, that's going to be me. That could probably be me. But no. She was like, no. A curl sculpting cream, right? The watery gel. I mean, I was doing everything. I was putting the stuff out between my palms and like not raking it through my hair, doing it more like I can't show you. But not disturbing the hair. Just like letting my hair hang down and just like coating it each side. Yeah. But I think curly hair too has lower porosity. Prayer hands. Exactly. Yeah, lower porosity. And I do not have low porosity hair because in these curling videos, they use a ton of product. A lot. And I'm like, I don't need that much product. My hair is going to be way, way down. And I'm going to need to refill a lot. Your hair is very porous. Oh. Your hair takes forever to dry. Oh. If you can brush your hair and it not fluff out, you probably don't have curly hair. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't fluff out, even if when I want it to. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Are you girls wearing a bonnet tonight? I'm not. Yeah, the curly hair videos, they do have a ton of products that they use. Yeah. All different brands. It's a lot. That's why they only wash their hair like twice a week, sometimes once, which is, yeah, I can't do that. I'm in every other day at the, like, yeah, no. Just the satin pillowcase. Yep. Thick hair takes all day to dry. You don't got time for that. Mm-hmm. Once a week. Pillow soft curl gel? Oh, I've never even heard of that. Depends what I got going on the next day. That's all. Your hair was so straight, it still is, but a change in climate has helped with that. Humidity has become your ally. Oh, when I moved to Egypt, I used to get so irritated when my hair would dry too fast. It dried so fast. I didn't have time to style it. It would dry so fast. Inner Sense and Recoil brands? Oh. Mm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I think there are 100 people that are dozing off to sleep right now. What day is it? Is it like Thursday, I think? It's almost Friday in my time zone. It's almost Happy Friday! Your hairdresser said to style your hair in the shower? Oh, yeah, yeah. You're playing video games? What are you playing? You missed the late night streams? Yeah, from Live on Patrol. Oh, guess what? Our, our boner hair and unicorn, you know when that we did that during Live on Patrol. Look who it is. It's NBC. What up, NBC? Oh my God. It's NBC. NBC is in the chat right now. Big ups, NBC. What's going on? What's going on, sir? What is going on, NBC? Tomorrow's your official layoff day. Well, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Boner hair. Yeah, that was during a Live on Patrol. So you would never be able to find it. It was at the end of a Live on Patrol. Like it was what's his name? Melatonin, whatever his name is. But you got 2 interviews next week? Fantastic. That's awesome. NBC, what up? Big ups, NBC. What have you been up to, NBC? Talk to us. Melatonin Mike, thank you. Am I losing my mind here? My God. I should start doing some brain exercises. The Ghost. Yeah. That's right, mega. We were watching Melatonin Mike and he was putting us all to sleep. And I was like, oh, you guys want to see something? Slumber Sheriff Mike. I was like, you guys want to see something? Nicole and what's his name? There's a romance flourishing. And you guys were like, sure, because Melatonin Mike is putting us to sleep. And we spent basically the whole rest of the night shift reading that entire thread, which is still there, by the way. It's still there. And that was like August or something of 2025. It's still there. So I clipped it. I did clip it. I'm going to put it in the best of. Oh my God. Update. It's hard to update. I did clip it. Is Downtown Girl still here? Yeah, I clipped it. It was a blossoming romance. Seems to still be happening. Well, Otters and Elephants. Boner Girl uploaded a new photo of herself, and it's an AI photo of what she would look like as a superhero. And Unicorn commented on it in March, recently, 3 months ago, and was like, damn, or something. And she was like, oh, how's my internet husband? Like in March. Hey, Downtown Girl. Oh, not did I call her Boner Girl? Not Boner Girl, Boner Hair. Sorry. Downtown Girl. Oh my God. Oh, Boner Girl. It's just this really. Oh, I don't even know. How can I sum it up? It is okay, Downtown Girl. It's kind of crazy. Why does it sound like you're talking about Foodie's Chat? It is someone who is from Foodie's Chat originally. That's why. Okay. There was someone from Chantal's chat, okay, who made friends with Teardrop. Okay. She made friends with Teardrop. And they used to talk to each other on Instagram and everything. And this was when Chantal was in Syria. And Chantal was like under gunfire or something, okay? Like it was either fireworks or gunshots. And Boner Girl was talking about in the chat that someone was outside lurking or something, and she was trying to take over the chat with her own dramatic story, and people were like, Boner Girl, just call the police. What are you doing? Like, look, we're trying to deal with Chantal being shot up in Syria right now, okay? We can't worry about you in Georgia and some guy lurking in your backyard, okay? Like, we have dueling trauma dumping, okay? We can't handle both at once. So, yeah, I forget how she like got ousted from the Beezers, but as you know, everyone does eventually get ousted. Well, she made a couple of videos like telling us reaction channels how awful we are. And I was one of the ones that she started with. But then she said that she made a mistake and she thought there were only a couple, like a handful of reaction channels that were out there. And she had no idea that mine was like the least of the. She didn't know how bad it could get, basically. And because she had come in here and we were not rude to her. And we're not really. We're like, oh, Beezer, how did you work your way over here? What's going on? Like, because I don't want people to be attacked. Like, what's, what, yeah, you know, do you have any questions for us? Or like, so. And there was someone in our chat at that time who witnessed how we handled the situation and knew that we hadn't been rude to her. So, and she made a video about me saying like, oh, yeah, she had the scrunchie. Well, she had the hair bow. And what I had said the other night was she had the bow in her hair. And the entire chat thought I said the whole, the whole the whole chat thought I said boner hair. So she has become boner hair. And now she's boner girl, I guess. So, okay. So I found the other day, I was searching my expansion drive for other things, and I found the original comment that Duckoff left on the channel asking us to all give her another chance, that she's a wayward Beezer, that she made a mistake, and please don't and please to unblock her. And that's where it all started, because I was like, she's not blocked. What do you mean? She tried telling this person that she wanted to apologize to me and tried to apologize, but couldn't because she was blocked. When in fact, she wasn't. I had no reason to block her, She had been in here, she had talked to us, but, Beezers get in their feelings, okay. So, there was on her community post, she said something, yada, yada, blah, 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 right? Well, we'll call him Unicorn now, okay? Because he called himself a unicorn. He said he himself called himself a unicorn. He replied to Boner Hair and said, I was in AYS's chat and they were very nice to you, and you are your perception is people aren't always coming for you and blah blah blah. And they went back and forth for like a couple of rounds where they were whatever. But then suddenly the tone turned very nice. They started being nice to each other. And it was 43 replies down, but it wasn't just 43 like one sentence replies. It was multiple paragraphs. And a romance was flourishing on this one community tab post. Over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, where they were replying back and forth to each other, talking about how they grew up. They both grew up on golf courses. That was a strange coincidence. Her brother owned a car dealership and someone in his family owned a car dealership. She talked about all of her illnesses and chronic diseases, and he talked about his issues. And then he said, why don't we move this to Instagram? And she gave him her name on Instagram, and they moved things over there. Well, that was like August of 2025. And one night we were on patrol in Minnesota. That's what we used to do on Friday nights. It got a little boring. So we read the entire thread. And the other night we talked about it briefly. Well, not briefly, I guess. Probably like over an hour at least. And so I'm like, well, let me go see if there's been an update the other night. And I looked, and she had posted a picture, an AI picture of herself in March recently. And he was like, well, whoa, look at you or something. And a bow in her hair. Yeah. And yeah. And she does nails and everything, And she was like, oh, look, it's my internet husband. 3 months ago. So they're still connected in some way. Yeah, but she's no longer a Beezer for sure. But hey, I think there's probably a lot more still going on. Was she the blonde one? Yes. Yes. Oh, you know what else, Downtown Girl? She donated during the kidnapping of Bruce. She funded the Bruce abduction. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, she did. And that was the issue that, I brought to her attention. Like, look, this lady should not have Bruce. My internet husband, he's in Mexico with our son Pilot for the summer, teaching him how to fly. That's where my internet husband is. Yeah. One of my dogs wants to go out, so just give me a moment, please. Downtown Girl, are you opted in for gifted memberships? Because that kind of thing I am probably going to put on the members thing, because it's got some sensitive content that might be embarrassing to some, if it gets out to the public. Yeah, okay, just one moment. Alrighty. The door's open. He's chilling out there, deciding what he wants to do. NBC, where have you been, sir? It's good to see you. Yeah, same picture. Yep. With the bow in the hair. Boner hair. Mm-hmm. Hey, here you are. Doggo's got a doggo. They sure do. Yeah, there's definitely some lore for sure. And I have clipped the Downtown Get Down. Gonna put it on a members playlist. The Downtown Get Down. Boner hair. The ghost that we saw, or that I saw rather, on when we were on patrol, that no one else saw. Mm-hmm. A few classics. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, she also posts shorts of chemtrails and mist or fog that is alive, like fog that lives or something, has organisms. And she took some snow and rubbing heavily. That was it, though? Was it a dirty windshield, or maybe it was really a ghost? Hey, we'll never really know, It could have been the fog or the mist or whatever. Yeah. And she took down the video of the deer when I remembered what you guys were talking about. Yeah. Yes, that's Boner Girl. Yes. With the blonde hair and the satin pajamas and the bow in her hair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Boner Girl. Yeah, Nicole. Yeah. And she used to use her whole government name as her YouTube name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She had a whole little folder on my expansion drive. Yeah. Yeah, chemtrails. Standing in the Walmart parking lot, like, look at the chemtrails. But the deer video, I had forgotten what the deer video even was, but I think she wrote about it to duck off. And then I remembered she was touching a baby deer. And he was like, "You really shouldn't do that." No, the ghost was something that I saw, kinda. Not really. It wasn't a ghost. Omnia, thank you so much. Welcome to Owlette. It's great to have you in the nest officially. That is wonderful. Welcome. Welcome, Omnia. Welcome. Yes. Welcome, Omnia. Omnia, please check out your welcome video. It's just a couple seconds long. You can watch it and come right back. Welcome to the nest. Yes. Wanda the Wallet did fund a lot of people sent super chats during the Bruce abduction, but I'm pretty sure Nicole was one of them. Pretty sure. I think I have a spreadsheet for that, so I could easily look. Time to crip walk, yeah. Yeah, when we were on patrol, and because we used to patrol with the St. Paul, Minnesota Sheriff's Department, or the Ramsey County Sheriff's Department. And it's late at night when we do that, and we were down an alley, and I saw something moving across the alley. I saw something, and I was like, wait a minute, let's go back, because it looked like a shadow or something that was crossing the road. And I think I thought it was a cat at first, and I was like, wait, let's go back again. Did anyone else see that? And you guys were just like, the usual, like, I think so, or like, maybe, do it again, let's see, humoring me as usual. Like, well, you didn't want to call me out right away for being crazy. So you're like, well, maybe, we'll go back. Let's, where exactly? And it was probably like the fourth time that we replayed it that I was like, oh, it's it's something on the windshield. I'm like, I think it's a ghost. I think it's a ghost. Yes, that's right, Downtown Girl. That is correct. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Where's Wanda? I think Wanda totally defected because Wanda got completely outed. You guys want to know more about the writer person? Yeah, they said they were 27 or 29, I guess. Yeah. Yes. Came into the Beezer scene out of nowhere. I don't understand those people. Where do they come from? Oh, NBC. It was fine. It was fine. Foodie the Cougar. Yeah, there were a couple of people that said they were young recently in her chat. And she was like, really? She was surprised. Ryder just dropped a bunch more money in Chantal today? Really? Where do they come from? Where do they go? Good question. They just materialize. And then they go poof. 1,500 so far this month. That's good. Probably their mom's credit card, just like Anime Sucks. Yep. I wonder if Salah knows or if she's keeping all the money to herself. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Did you hear the lab story today? That was foolishness. That was nothing but foolishness. A big, long, convoluted story. Listen, just say you didn't go, okay? You could just tell us you didn't go. Oh, Katie, that's the interesting thing. What did they get out of giving her money? I don't know. I don't know. You saw Carefree in there the other day, but she seems to have stopped spending all her money on Chantal. Interesting. They're listening, otters and elephants. They're always listening. All right, it is time to go to bed with the pups. Everybody, thanks so much for joining tonight. I'm sorry that some of it is a bit of a downer. It's a very, very, very tough subject. I think unless if you guys have more that you want to talk on it, I'm happy, we can bring it up again and we can discuss more of it if you want at any time. I think that I'm done watching it on my own though and making commentary on my own. It's just too much. So, but yeah, but we can talk about it as a group. I'm fine with that. I know enough about it to be able to speak on different things for sure. But yeah, I got to put it aside, I think. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Bella Italian. Okay. Yeah, it was, we had a couple good moments with the girl on Instagram. She told us what was up, different experiences from different people who were at the house at different times. And, everyone had different experiences with him, which was very interesting. All different types. So, yeah, for sure, Tejancita. I agree. Yeah, if you are interested at all in the docuseries, you should find a way to watch it for sure. It would be worth it, I think. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. I will most likely see you tomorrow. And please enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
See you around.
Go sub, like, share, subscribe.